Welcome to the Fourth Step Podcast. On each episode, we interview recovering addicts and learn their story with addiction. Through exploring personal journeys, we get a glimpse of the depths addicts fall to and their path in recovery. We hope you enjoy the episode. So, I just finished with How Do I Show My Gratitude?
Yeah, back from break, we were just talking about morphine, lollipops, and buttholes.
I'm glad that's not on air.
You guys missed that.
You gotta finish.
Okay. All right. What was the question?
How am I showing my gratitude for my recovery?
How am I showing my gratitude for my recovery? Honestly, when the word gratitude comes up lately, I kind of cringe a little bit. I struggle with it. This last year or so has been really tough, and I've been dealing with some depression, and life has been tough. And I know that there are ways that I'm showing my gratitude for my recovery, like you guys mentioned, like I'm going to meetings and I'm being of service and I'm here doing this. I could say, probably the most way that I show gratitude is by staying clean, like I'm not loaded today.
Yeah.
Do I feel that, though, that is me practicing gratitude? I feel like I'm just kind of going through the motions. I mean, I don't want to get loaded. But this last year has been tough, and so I don't know if that's like my main motivation for doing those things. Since I had this last relapse with pain medication, my mental state has shifted. It's just changed, and I have thoughts of using. I would say that the compulsion to use is gone, but the obsession still comes up. I still think about it. I'm like, gosh, I want to go, love to go get another prescription from my doctor.
Because your life didn't fall apart.
Yeah.
It's possible that's what it is anyway.
And you're an addict. I'm sure that's
that fucking part too.
Yeah. Well, and just life is tough right now too. And so I know how to fix that, it's like, and so it's not like something I'm going to act on, but yeah. So I got asked to chair next week. There's a local meeting called Gratitude Tuesdays, and the speaker.
You're chairing next week?
Yeah, and the speaker shares on gratitude.
Yeah.
Ugh, barf. That's how I feel, So when I got asked, man, I was just like, oh, I didn't want to. I said yes. Funny story. I probably would have said no if somebody would have just asked me, but I had asked the secretary to chair a meeting for me. And so I kind of felt like he got me,
yeah.
know? And so, I think an important thing is that, and I know this consciously, is like all of the things that I'm saying about life being tough right now and going through the motions, like those are all good opportunities. I know logically to practice gratitude, right? Like I know that practicing gratitude can help me get out of that state, but I just don't feel it. And
How have you written a gratitude list lately?
written on paper, no.
Seems to
That's a
do
good
magic.
point.
Seems to do magic for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Why am I so resistant to that? I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to write it down. I already know what I'm grateful for.
You know when you first said, you got asked to share?
Yeah.
And you don't have, positive feelings about it, about gratitude?
Right.
My first thought was, we should probably sit down and talk about this before you share.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about it since I got asked. I'm like, I need to get out of this.
You gotta change of perspective.
Yeah. And so, I know logically all the things that we talk about in recovery about gratitude and, but I'm just not feeling it.
Right. Yeah, it's a great reason for us to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, I agree.
It comes in waves, man. I want to say I talk to you almost every day, and you're doing a lot better than you think you are.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to remind myself that I'm doing better than I feel.
Yeah.
For sure.
No matter how I feel. Yeah.
I know they say, even our literature says, gratitude is an action word. Just my feeling and my perception is not only is it an action word, it's also a feeling.
Yeah.
It could just be a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be grateful for
your daughter, your
Yeah.
kids. You can be grateful for, you know,
Being clean.
a non-violent
Yeah.
split or whatever, or non-toxic, or you know what I'm
Amicable,
saying?
yeah.
They're like, you can start naming things that you feel grateful for.
Yeah, I actually had an experience yesterday. I had my daughter, and we. It's like sometimes I get into this mode where it's like, okay, I just got off work, and then I get my daughter, and then we went to gymnastics, and then we got to get dinner, and so it's like this go.
Have
and
to.
You have to, and she's very talkative. She's very cute, but she talks a lot. You know.
Yeah, she does.
And so I had this shift yesterday, and we went to gymnastics, and then we went out to go eat some sushi, and I was like, okay, because I was feeling like the kind of the drain of the day, and I like paused for a second, and I had this little shift of like, I'm just gonna like really be present with her and like talk to her.
I love that.
And there was like a shift that happened. And I was like, oh, this is like remember feeling like, oh, just like enjoying the moment so much, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
that's
there's
all
some
it
gratitude
takes.
there.
I love it.
Yeah, that was.
I figure it was going to come from her.
Yeah.
I believe the pen, writing it on paper, will, like Kevin always says, for us to drop from our head to our heart. I believe it'll be able to connect them.
I'm gonna do it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, I will do that. And I know I have so much to be grateful for. I mean, I just wish I could have half of what I have now, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, no
it was
shit.
like I just wish I could,
Yeah.
blank, and and so I've acquired a good lifestyle and some level of peace and happiness and that kind of stuff and joy in my life. But yeah, I think-
You're grieving. You're in the grieving process.
yeah. Should be over. Every time in my recovery in the last 10 years, when something would come up, and I'd have like, oh my God, I have this internal struggle, and I would turn to recovery, turn to calling my sponsor or doing step work or whatever it is. I knew the things to do, and I would feel better. That's not happening as quickly as I would like it to this time.
Sounds like there's an expectation there.
Yeah, well, expectation from my experience so far. So there's definitely some growth happening.
You got some new experiences that you went through though too.
Yeah.
Isn't there a chapter in Living Clean on grieving?
You would know.
You would know. You could probably recite it to me. Read it to us, Kyle. Off
Who
your
are you
head.
asking, dude?
I'm gonna be honest.
Was
I've
that
never,
were you
I've
asking
never read,
yourself?
I've never
Three
read
of
Living
us
Clean.
rely on you.
I've read the
Kyle.
whole book actually from
And
front to back.
and
Yeah.
it's in there, right?
I can't remember anything I read.
in there.
Yeah.
No.
What did you say on what?
Grieving.
Grieving. There is.
There is.
I'll check it out.
All right.
It's not a chapter, it's a portion
I'm
of
gonna make a
chapter.
gratitude
Yeah.
list. How
Yeah.
many things do I have to write on there, Kyle?
No, you tell me what you come up with. I want to hear it.
I gotta just keep writing until I don't feel like writing.
How about what are you grateful for right
wait,
now?
Wait. It's even better if you don't do it once and just do it for a while.
Like every day?
Yeah.
Let's go through right now.
No.
It's better when the pen.
much pressure.
I think when the
Yeah,
pen
too
hits
much pressure.
the pen hits the paper, it does something. It unlocks our subconscious. It'll connect our head to our
I
heart.
believe that. I've experienced that with step work for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I'll do it too. I'll
Yeah, I
do
think
it with
I
you.
think
Let's do it.
writing is
Josh, you in?
what?
Gratitude list.
You help keep me accountable. I'll forget we even talked about it when I leave.
I got you.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah, jam me up about it. I don't got no problem doing it. I think writing is one of the greatest forms of self-expression that we have.
Yeah.
Kevin, are you gonna do it with us?
No.
Something about it.
I'm out.
Pop is cured.
I have recovered.
Yeah.
Guys, I have another question if that's okay.
No.
Did all of us go through this?
No.
I am so sorry, Josh.
I don't. We can keep going. I mean.
Josh, you're,
No, I
you're
need
grateful
to
for
hear-
something.
How do I show my gratitude
yeah.
For your recovery.
for my recovery? This process.
It's already been said.
It's not select to one person.
Asked and answered.
Yeah.
You're cheating.
Gratitude list now.
He
Yeah.
stole that one from me.
I live the way that recovery taught me to live. I practice principles. I show up for people. I do my best to show up for myself.
I know of one.
I don't cause harm intentionally. Mm-hmm. And if I do, I clean it up really quickly. I practice conscious contact with my higher power. and try to move accordingly. I have a service commitment, but the truth is I'm not super committed to it.
Why is that?
I just, my ability or willingness to show up for meetings and service commitments right now is very, I don't feel connected to it. I mean, obviously I could do better. I'm saying it out loud. Like, I'm not super committed to a commitment that I have. I'll show up, but I'm pretty burnt out. That's the story that I tell myself that keeps me from, and also another firm reality is that my life is a little bit unpredictable with work and just stuff that I have going on, and like how tired I am, and like being able to maintain my mental health by becoming too tired, or like, don't get me wrong, I go to meetings, I go to, at least for sure one a week, sometimes two, most of the time two. I try to hit three. I participate in my recovery, but I'm fucking burnt out, man. I'm pretty burnt out.
Well, I mean, we've all had. I've had conversation with all three of you about that balance, right?
It's tough.
And so,
If I get to one or two meetings a week right now, I feel good.
yeah, I would say 2 minimum for you.
But I agree with you. I don't always make that, though.
I know.
I would say more often than not I do, but I also don't beat myself up if I don't.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I know that. Spiritually, I become aware of when I need a meeting, and I really try to pay attention to that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, the program has taught me how to show up for life, and I just try to do the best I can at that in the best way possible, and I think that's how I get to show the most gratitude.
Can I share one that I feel like I see, like, that I really connect with from you?
Yeah.
I love Kevin's definition of friendship, of that a friend is willing to tell you the truth regardless of fear of the outcome. And you consistently share with me hard truths that I don't see, even if you know it's going to make me uncomfortable or upset.
Or pissed off, yeah, for sure.
And you do it anyways. And you do it in a really delicate way.
Yeah.
But I just know that I appreciate...
You do it too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so I'm really grateful for the way you've shown up, because like I know what you're telling me when you share with me is from a place of love, and that you're showing me what I can't see.
I think that it's important to note that in a relationship like that, that's something that develops from the hard work of building a rapport and a connection with somebody. Like, we have that relationship, and it's because of the work that we collectively put into the relationship to be able to understand what somebody else is going through, even if they can't see it themselves, because we stay in contact with each other and we keep each other plugged in on what's going on with us. And like, at any given time, any one of us could probably talk to each other and be like, all right, like 10 minutes, we know exactly where we're at. Less than that, maybe even,
Quicker,
at least
quicker with you.
Yeah,
for, sure.
for me, yeah.
You get right to it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to remember too that
It takes work, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we have that definitely because of the 2 foot drop, because we talk about it a lot. Is like, I'm fucking mad at Kyle. Well, do you really believe Kyle is saying this to cause you harm? If you do the 2 foot drop in your heart, do you really believe he's intentionally? No, he's probably just talking to me because he cares about me, and this probably has some truth to it, what he's saying.
Yeah, replace Kyle with anybody. Yeah,
For sure, and we know that.
Yeah,
I knew that's what he meant.
Yeah,
For sure.
i.e., fucking this relationship, that person, this person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I replace myself with myself. Like, I'll put myself in that spot. Like, I'm fucking resentful towards me.
Yeah.
Like, today I had to go through that process of like, man, I signed up for some shit that I am not fucking happy about right now. and I don't want to play anymore. And I did it to myself, and I knew that I was doing it, you know? And so, like, I have to look at that. I got to, because I'll beat myself up. Like I'm a failure, or I'm not good enough, or maybe I don't really care, or whatever the fucked up story is that I'm telling myself is, yeah.
I was wondering, I wanted to go back. This is neither here nor there, but I was thinking about your commitment to your service commitment and how you said you don't feel very committed, but you continue to go to it.
Yeah.
I was thinking potentially that it's not so much commitment because you're continuing to go rather than willingness. If you think about willingness as like some cheerful readiness or cheerful compliance.
I think I'm missing the connection. So
Just that you are committed because you
You're
keep
showing up.
going,
yeah. No, I show up for it. Yeah.
but not so much willingly.
I'm not connected to it.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
It feels empty.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels empty. This comes, dude. I've got several relapses, and what you're describing to me post relapse for you is like, I mean, it's not a party, but welcome to the party, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
and the
I'm
thing that
fucking.
it's not the same.
Yeah, it changes, dude. Each time it's fucking changed, and it's harder to hold on.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't want to go there again, you know, but it's different.
It is. Yeah.
Something shifts, something changes, because what kept us here in the beginning isn't the same thing that kept us here the second time. The connection to that is different than it is now, and so you got to find.
It's so weird, even just like sharing a meeting, because you say things like when I got clean, and then I'm like, but I'm talking about the last time that I got clean.
Yeah,
And so it's
I still say that because the reality is, and I feel the connection to the first time because, and I know we're getting off topic a little bit here, but like.
That was the start of your journey.
Yeah, that was the start of the journey, and my journey hasn't stopped. My journey just has relapses in it. So, like, my recovery never stopped. My experience, I never stopped gaining experience. Matter of fact, I've got a lot of experience in recovery that some people will never get.
yeah, you've never left. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
you've-
the thing.
you've
And,
stayed. Yeah.
and you hear people say things, for sure you'll hear somebody say, if you haven't yet, the only thing I've done right is I never got loaded. And, like, the only thing I've done right is I haven't left. Like, I've continued to stay. Even if I wasn't physically present 100% of the time, I stayed plugged in. Like, even when I relapsed, like, I stayed, I stayed connected, you know?
I heard many years ago a perspective about like relapse and recovery and all that, and they talked about they were introduced to the rooms at this date where they started Narcotics Anonymous, and the last time they got loaded is their clean date.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of experience in recovery, but my clean date is this day.
Yeah.
And so it's not a because there's a part of like the repetitive, relapse where people will talk about, well, this time and then this other time that I got clean and this other time I got clean. Well, I mean, you're really clean once this last time. The other times is just part of your journey. I don't know. It's just somebody's perspective. And I really, really like tune into that. Because
Yeah.
I relapsed quite a few times
Yeah.
before I got clean. And I was introduced to Narcotics Anonymous when I was 17, and I got clean when I was 20.
yeah.
I think probably whatever makes it easier for somebody to stay.
Yeah.
I think that whatever perspective you want to use that makes it easier for you to stay, because that's really what's important.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I couldn't. I don't even know. Like, I think I would probably be using right now if it wasn't for, like, you guys. Like, the thought of not staying, like, I couldn't do this or be friends with you guys if I was using or
That helps
drinking.
me.
Well,
Stay too.
obviously.
So it's like,
Yeah.
It was close. It was sketchy there for a little bit with you. Felt scary.
About
Yeah.
being friends with him?
No, not friends.
Oh.
No, I just mean
We've
like
never been friends.
coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it's still, yeah. there's-
or leaving. I guess I should say you didn't really leave.
I didn't.
Just- yeah.
But the thought of, that's what I mean. I
sketchy.
mean, that's kind of what makes me stay is like the thought of, like, yeah, just,
I'm with you, James.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
this.
like-
I feel
I
the
get
same
it,
way.
dude.
yeah, it's just, this has been my life,
Yep.
So
I get it.
hopefully it'll turn into more than that here in the future, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm hanging on to you guys.
It's good. That's great.
Dude, I am I've said this a few times over the years, is that I do not believe I would be clean if it wasn't for the fellowship at any given time in my recovery.
Yeah.
Like the books and the program and the meetings is great, and that's my foundation.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have the fellowship, the people, the support groups,
Right.
I would not be clean today.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a
wholeheartedly believe
relationship was truly until I got here.
Yeah.
Friendship, relationship, whatever you want to call it, in any capacity.
Yeah.
I didn't like whatever I had getting loaded wasn't anything. It wasn't real.
Yeah.
It wasn't real. There was nothing there.
I told you guys before, like when my stepdad passed away, you guys checked in on me, you know? Or when Steve passed away, which was way worse, you guys were there, all there.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, those are the times that I look back and go, okay, I might have gotten loaded if it wasn't for you guys.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's your gratitude?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Just living.
So all three of you committed to doing a
Yeah.
gratitude list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will too. I was fucking
I
with you.
knew it.
You're gonna do it. Yeah.
All
You
right,
have to
so what
show
do we
us
got,
how.
a week?
I think we should do a week.
Are we doing like text or writing?
I think we should write it down, and if we want to text it to each other, we can. But we need to write.
Do you guys do audio messages?
We can.
Voice to text?
Oh, you don't have iPhone, huh?
I've got a phone
He
that
can't do
does
au-
audio messages.
He's got one of those peasant phones. Yeah.
I've got the best phone.
I don't know.
out
I've been
there
doing
right
a lot of
now.
audio messages
Right.
on the iPhone. You just push and you can just. So I was thinking if we write it down,
Yes.
and then we could just do an audio
Read
message
it?
and read it,
Yep.
and then send it in a group.
Yep. Or we can take a picture of it.
So what are we doing here?
I don't know.
feel
Sorry,
like,
sorry.
Kyle's
about
got
that.
another question.
I feel like I'm in school.
I
dude.
do.
Are we?
We'll talk about it after.
Are we
We'll figure
writing?
it out.
Well, let's get it out the way now. Here, are we writing down daily gratitude list, or
Yeah.
are we just going to write one within a week? We need to write one
Daily.
You guys better stay on top of me, dude. I'm telling you.
I got
I'm
you, dog.
I forgot already.
I got you.
Okay.
Got you.
Kyle's gave us all
When
an
we
assignment.
text in the group chat, you'll be like, "Oh shit, I got to do that."
Yeah. Yep.
So you said earlier you'll hear in the room someone say at some point that the one thing I've done perfectly is not get loaded, right? And
I don't know if I said it sarcastically like that.
I've heard it like that though.
Yeah. If I did, I apologize because I didn't like how that sounded.
No. The reason I said it that way is because I hear people say the one thing you need to change is everything, and I'm of the belief that that's not true. That we come in here with assets.
So different perspective.
That's my perspective. Yeah,
Yeah,
different
yeah.
perspective is that we come in here with assets, and Narcotics Anonymous helps us cultivate them. So my next question is, what assets do you have that helps you be of service to others?
Go for it.
No, you go for it. Let's go
We're
that
going
way.
back this way. Assets.
Flip it down and reverse it.
Hey,
I'm
Luck
honest.
could drop.
I'm motivated. I'm supportive. I'm intelligent. I'm fucking driven. Loving, compassionate, understanding, consistent, loyal,
consistent.
responsible,
That helps
strong.
you serve others.
spiritual.
Hella good looking.
Yeah, sexy as fuck. Yeah.
Best rap,
I would say
best rapper in NorCal.
I would say you're willing even when you don't want to be.
Sure
yeah,
are.
for sure. Willing,
I don't want to
I'm very
do that.
willing.
He would tell me, I don't like that. I don't want to do that, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, willing. I think that's where that's where the most growth is. Hindsight, man. There was a period of my life where I was, very, very, very determined. I think my determination has slowed down a little bit, but I'm just really fucking tired, man. I would still say I'm pretty determined. Like when I set my mind to something, I typically do it.
I see with you. Sometimes I'm cautious to when you ask me for a suggestion, because you'll be like, tell me what you think. And sometimes I'll be cautious with it because I see you actually, like, you'll be like, okay. And you'll do it. And so sometimes I'm like cautious. I'm like, I gotta make sure I don't say the wrong thing. So I think
Can you give me an example?
like a specific example?
Yeah, do you mean like in like one of my fucking grandiose, like life-changing plans that I come up with on a regular basis, or do you mean like,
One of your bright ideas.
or just like a suggestion that you give me, something that I'll take to heart about how I'm living?
Yeah, I think that. Like, I'll see you internalize something that I see in you. So, like, when you come to me with your crazy, grandiose ideas,
Yeah.
you're not coming to tell me that you're going to go do this. You're coming to look for a solution to deal with whatever you're going through.
Or to run it by you for
Yeah,
perspective.
Well,
Yeah.
you're looking for fucking don't do that. I'm calling dad, kind of a thing, you know.
Sometimes, yeah.
Or the green light. Sometimes I might give you the green light. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, and
But-
I have a bunch of people that I kind of take a fucking a poll
Yeah,
because I fucking come up with some fucking wild ass shit sometimes. But yeah,
But-
so, go ahead.
yeah. I'll see you internalize something that maybe I can't think of any examples right now. But especially when we first started talking, because you're very different than me, and so I think I would be a little bit scared of you sometimes.
Yeah.
Like not like because you weren't stable then like you are now, and that's not, and I'm like stable, and so like I guess what I'm saying is like I would think that I would just tell you honestly and authentically like what I feel, thinking that you might like go the other direction or like not listen to what I'm saying, but you actually would internalize it, and so,
Yeah,
That's a pretty good
yeah.
outcome.
yeah,
Yeah.
Willingness. Yeah, awareness. I'm fucking.
I thought for
and
sure you
sen-
weren't going to make it. I mean,
and
I
sensitive.
knew that you weren't going to stay clean.
Remember during COVID when you're like, I just think like drug dealers deserve to get robbed. They have it coming. Like I'm gonna fucking rob them. And I'm like, Josh, I don't
Dude,
know.
I thought
like,
society was gonna crumble, dude. And we needed to stack up, dude.
You're like,
we needed,
they deserve
we needed
it.
some
Like, why
fucking
do
prudent
they-
reserve, dude.
I was like, Josh, I don't agree about this.
I was ready, dude. We
Josh
needed
and I were
prudent
talking
reserve,
about
dude.
this. We're talking about like creating a commune, you know. And
still think about
I
it.
had my idea like, yeah, we're gonna get like this big plot of land, and we're gonna build these little houses on it for everybody, and we're all gonna like grow gardens and support each other. And he's like, yeah, I wanted a commune too, but I want a gun range and a bunker, and when shit starts popping off, we got to get on the rooftops and keep them from getting inside. And I'm like, no, completely different.
I saw this movie.
There's some version of that. I don't know if I said those exact words, but definitely I'm a little bit more extreme for sure. Intense. I can be intense, which I also consider an asset in certain scenarios. I will use intensity to push through adversity, even if that's just on a completely internal level, like with myself. Like sometimes I like doing difficult things, and it requires a really deep fucking dive.
You're very authentic.
Yeah,
You never are trying to be something you're not. You're always who you say you are.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Transparent,
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good list, man.
That's a good list.
That was a long,
I
good
think you
list, bro.
named them all.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any more. There's probably some I could figure
Humility.
out.
Forgot that one.
Humility. Yeah, that was a good list. I'm the best. That actually, I do practice a lot of humility.
Yeah,
I think
you do.
that in humility we're able to learn, and I really like to learn
Yeah.
very much.
Instead of being like, I got this figured out.
I don't got shit figured out. I don't have shit figured out. I have a lot of experience, but I definitely don't have all the answers. And so the second I start thinking I have all the answers I think that's why I have the willingness to internalize things when people close to me say something, because I'm like, maybe
Right.
I need to fucking look at that.
That's huge, bro.
Yeah,
I say that a
don't-
lot to me, like when somebody else tells you something, and you go, "There's probably a lot of truth to what he said."
Yeah. All right. Fucking shifting, James.
What assets do I have that help serve others?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say kindness. I'm kind. I'm welcoming. I'm honest. I'm consistent. I'm stable. I'm safe. I think those are.
Ooh, safe. That's
I feel
a good
like
one,
you're
dude.
also patient, James.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Very
yes.
patient and compassionate.
Safe and patient are fucking good ones for you.
Very good.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, keep going, Jimmy Ward.
Jimmy Ward. Yeah, I would say. I mean, I don't know. Nothing really else is coming to mind.
Loving,
Yeah,
reliable,
yeah. I think that those are similar to like
safe.
kindness or consistent.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah,
You good?
yeah,
That was strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah. I may not last a long time, but I'll, strong time.
You just don't have as many as Josh.
Yeah.
Maybe you're more humble about it.
Yeah, I should have put humility in there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the most humble. Yeah. I too am incredibly humble.
Yeah. All right. So there's some that my wife pointed out that I wasn't really aware of. She says I'm very loyal. Like I'm loyal to those that are important to me, and safe. I've been told I'm a safe person, and I feel that with you guys. Like, I feel that you guys know that I'm safe.
Yeah.
I get that feeling from you guys. Like, whatever you guys tell me is going to stay. It dies with me.
Yeah.
Unless you share it yourself. Yeah.
I got some for you.
Okay.
You are probably the most welcoming and hospitable person, you and Jen both, that I've ever met.
For sure. Absolutely.
I've never felt more comfortable in a place that wasn't
Yeah.
mine than your guys's.
Safe and very
Definitely
inclusive.
safe.
Yeah.
Inclusive.
Yeah, very inclusive.
It took me a while, but I finally will, like, when you say it, because everybody says, feel at home, but it's different when you guys say it. I mean, it's like really like, this is your home. Like, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a.
I mean, there's like a backstory around all that, but to keep it short, I was raised in Narcotics Anonymous by other people doing it for me, modeling that behavior for me. You don't have a place to live here. My couch is open.
Right.
You don't have anything to eat here. I'm going to make you some food.
Yeah.
And then we just carry that over. And I grew up, like, my mom was always that type of person. Like, you show up to the house and, like, okay, are you hungry? First thing, you want
Yeah.
something to drink, or are you hungry? And so, yeah, I get that. I was modeled that.
Yeah.
I think one of your biggest assets for me, one that keeps me coming back, is peaceful. Very peaceful. I like, there's I don't know anybody else that practices peace on a more consistent basis than you do, and I strive for that. And so it's a very attractive quality that you have, is
Wow.
peaceful.
Shout out to the book, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior.
Nice. Kyle remembers. He's got the best memory of all of us.
He could probably recite it.
He's got the only memory of all
Yeah,
of
I
us.
know. It's so fucking true.
God, what do they call it when there's a guy in the tribe that carries the stories on from generation to generation?
The shaman.
Whatever, we can't remember what that guy's called.
It's Kyle, whatever the fucking
What's
he
that
is.
guy
It's like,
called? Chief. The storyteller.
Yeah.
Put
That's
some paintings on some rocks for us, Kyle.
I mean, I think in times of writing, I think it's a scribe, generational
Yeah, it could be.
storyteller. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I need to know now.
I have that. It's where we all share this. Like, I have the knowledge that I am a certain asset, right? But it's hard for us
put a word to it?
sometimes to
Yeah.
like own that because of the low self-esteem or
Yeah.
the self-talk in our heads.
Yeah.
I feel
But
that,
if I
yeah.
do the 2-foot drop, and like in my heart, I know I'm trustworthy or welcoming or peaceful. When I have conversations with people, like outside of our little circle that has seen me for the last 10 years since I've been living here, they only seen me in a certain way. But when I tell them, I used to show up at meetings with a firearm, and and people were scared of me. And they're going, "You?" Like, no way, I don't see that. And I go, "Well, yeah, I mean, it's true."
I shared about that in a meeting recently about you.
What would you share?
Well, I shared that. I was like, because somebody had a chair, and I think I was thanking them for their chair. But it's hard to correlate when people talk about who they were and who they are today.
Yeah.
And I was talking about my sponsor. It talks about bigotry and racism and violence, and I just cannot correlate the two.
What you see today.
What I see today. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like I just can't imagine it.
I love that story.
Yeah.
You know why? The fucking program works.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, it
The
does.
program works.
Circling back to the generational storyteller,
Yeah.
in West Africa, they're called griots.
Call me a
Okay.
Kyle's a griot.
All right.
Thanks.
I'm glad I know that you won't remember that.
What is it called here?
They don't have a
Storyteller.
Storyteller, yeah.
Oh, AI. It's called ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
I know there's more assets.
Yeah.
I just, I strive to do exactly what Josh mentioned. Is I try to model like peace and serenity, and
Do no harm.
yeah,
That
Well,
part.
you know yes, because this might be the first time somebody listens. My motto every morning when I wake up is that I tell myself I'm going to walk through the day and cause no harm. That's my intention for the day, every day. So I don't want to cause harm. And I do actually have days where I go through the entire day and cause no harm.
And anybody that wants to practice that, make sure you include yourself
Yeah.
on the list of people that you don't harm. That's
Absolutely.
very important.
Love and compassion for ourselves and others.
Quoted.
Yeah.
What's the page is that from?
Yeah,
there?
what page? Yeah.
On Kevin, when I was here on 7/17, 2017.
That's in our
He told me
literature
that.
somewhere. Yeah.
That's probably exactly the day, too. I swear to God.
It is.
We should just call Kyle. We should just call him Lit for short for literature. We should just call him Lit.
Lit.
Like it.
Yeah. That's so funny. You remember that. Yeah. Wait, cause no harm.
2017?
It was like 2018.
I was going to say, you're coming over to Kevin's in 2017.
No,
Were
it
you
was-
here yet?
We were coming here a long time before you, Josh.
Yeah, but
I can remember when I
2017?
came up with James to Truckee to meet you.
You were coming here in 2017?
Well, because
I moved up here in 2016, and like shortly after that, I started sponsoring Phil.
Phil, yeah.
so we would
And
have
these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, by proxy of Phil.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It just
Actually,
seems like that was.
Were you sponsored by Phil? No.
I was considering Phil to sponsor me.
Oh.
And I was feeling it out, and he invited me to come to go to a men's breakfast.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I came with you guys, and I didn't know you were sharing, and you were the main speaker. And your share really connected with where I was at currently. And I rode back, and I just knew like my higher power had provided. And I came into your house, and I felt the warmth and the love. And I remember asking you if you had time, and you told me that you have a policy that if you do have time, you wouldn't say no, like, and something along those lines. And I remember crying. I literally, because I had been searching for a sponsor, and some of the ones I was considering were a couple hours away, and different things, and it just like your share, like part of your share talked about being in a relationship, and
Yeah, your sponsorship experience up to that point was.
it was good. No, it was good. It's just I was in a place where I needed a new sponsor.
You needed something different, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So, and it worked out great.
It was
so.
an acquired taste for me. When Phil
I hear you.
told me, he's like, I'm gonna get a different sponsor, and I think it's gonna be Kevin. I was like, who, this guy from the Bay Area? I was like, I'm not excited about this because his other sponsor has like, they'd have big sponsorship events and like all this stuff. And
Yeah.
I was like, I remember just feeling.
You went through the grieving process.
Yeah, I was like, this sucks. Kevin A from Peninsula area.
From the No Matter What family. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
No matter what, I ain't getting over there. Yeah.
But I mean, and I remember like we started hanging out like once a month. We'd all get
Yeah.
together for pizza, and Jack was with us, and Gav.
Sounds like a real circle jerk.
Yeah, it was kind of was.
It was
and
beautiful.
glorious. It was glorious.
Glorious.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all
Beautiful,
mine. So
glorious.
we're on to you.
Okay. My list is not very long, but I feel like it's meaningful to me. I feel like I'm empathetic. I feel that I'm open-minded. I feel that I'm an active listener.
Open-minded and willing.
Open-minded and willing.
Always willing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I feel like when I'm saying open-minded, I think if there's a word for like the opposite of judgmental, I feel like if you share with me, I don't care what it is.
Accepting.
Yeah, accepting.
That's it.
I feel that with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then there was one more that was on my mind that I'm an active listener. Did I say that? Mm-hmm. Okay, and awareness. I practice awareness.
Kyle, what page in the basic text talks about active listening?
Active listening is a gift, and it grows as we grow spiritually.
Do you remember the page?
No.
It's like 100 or 104 or something like that.
Well, it depends on the edition. So
I know, I talked about that before. I used to cite that page until I realized that nobody could find it because I was reciting out of the third edition.
Whoa!
And
when was that printed, Kevin?
okay, what other assets, Kyle?
What other assets?
I would
Yeah.
say supportive and inquisitive are two good ones for you.
They hate
The
that about me.
standout.
Some people don't like it that I'm so inquisitive. Yeah.
You're kind too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unless you're fucking hungry and tired, dude.
Like all of us.
Hey.
I'm sure.
Yeah, no, yep.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking exempt from that.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
you actually have patented body movements and sounds. we all know them too.
I think one of my biggest assets, I don't really have a word for it, but I feel like I'm really good at connecting people. Connecting people to other people. And
Good speaker seeker.
Yeah.
No, there's a thing about you, Kyle, that I admire and I want to be like. And I'm being honest. I get social anxiety, like even in the rooms, with people that I don't know. But you have this gift that, like, you can go up to somebody and start having a conversation. Next thing you know all about them, and then you're talking to James about this person, and you introduce them, and that's it, man. You're like, make everybody feel, special or inclusive, or it's a gift, dude.
Thank you.
I admire it.
I want a word for that.
Virginia calls it a word I don't love. She says I'm her social butterfly.
Aww.
I don't think that describes
No,
the
right?
the what you get when you connect with people. It's different. Social butterfly just bounces around and talks to people, and you actually connect with people.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's like, you probably don't even realize how significant that is in a newcomer or somebody's life. And it might be years later when they talk to you and they go, I wasn't going to come back to the meeting until you talked to me and paid attention to me and asked me questions and showed interest. And you know how many times I've heard that throughout the years? It's like, I had no idea, and you do it all the time.
A networker.
The
Networking.
The career I have now, that I'm in now, which
Linchpin.
I'm grateful for, Kyle got me linked up with that.
See?
I would have never went into this avenue if Kyle wouldn't have had texted me. He's like, hey, you should look into this. And I kind of did it just out of, sometimes I'm, when I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. And like almost to a fault. I didn't even want to do it, but I didn't know how to like tell him that I wasn't going to do it. And so I followed through with it. And then it turned into what it turned into.
Yeah, and you love it.
I would have never, because I actually, what he did is he sent me a post of somebody that was looking for a new employee, and I had actually seen it before he sent it to me, but I wasn't gonna. But since he sent it to me, I was like, oh, I'll look into it. Kind of like the gratitude thing. It's like he just told me to do that.
Cool. You want to read a card?
Sure.
One of your flashcards?
What resentment did you carry for a very long time that you have overcome today? You want me to start it? I'm the host right now because I'm asking the questions.
Oh, you want me to start?
Sure.
We'll go back this way.
Yeah. You gave me the power, the card.
Okay. I mean, I like had, a book full of resentments when I got clean. But probably the longest resentment was my oldest brother. And I'll be clear, I don't have that resentment today. I fucking, have like love and compassion for the guy, but the resentment was just a continuous thing for every action he did against me, all the way up until I met Jen. I was married when I think I had like, I'm terrible with dates. You would probably remember, but Kyle could tell me when I got married the first time. Look it up. No, I got married in early recovery. It lasted for less than a year. We got divorced, and it was pretty toxic. And a couple years later, and this is the same brother that beat the shit out of me my entire childhood, and I've tried to physically kill as a child. And he calls me up and says, I just want you to know from me first before you hear it somewhere else, I'm dating your ex-wife.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, he started a relationship with her, and, they ended up getting married and having kids, but he would bring her to like family functions, and I would like have to leave. And so I carried that resentment.
Are they still married today?
No, they got divorced in the same toxic environment. So...
is that the brother that you're officiating his wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting remarried.
Same brother.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's been with this girl, I think like 17 years, so...
Okay. Oh, wow. They've been together 17 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
He was gun shy to get married again.
Yeah, I get that.
After that, so I think that resentment to my oldest brother, and yes, I'm officiating his wedding, so
cool.
yeah, I'm past that.
Yeah.
But that was probably the one.
Yeah. Any others still active today?
I don't want to say it's a resentment, but because I like work it through the 2-foot drop, I have to hit that thing all the time. There's like one guy in the fellowship that's not my favorite person,
Yeah.
and
How
and
do
they
how do you deal with that?
the 2-foot drop. I want to get into my heart. It's like I honestly I feel like it's none of my business. It really is. It's none of my business.
It's one thing to say it's none of your business, but it's one thing to... You could say it's none of your business, but you still have the feelings come up about it.
Yeah, I actually feel.
So what do you do? So you go, it's none of my business, and then what? Then you still have the feeling?
No.
You recognize that it's true what you're saying?
I want to get into my heart, because all that shit is in my head, and the minute I can get out of my head, it's like, and I always revert back to what Steve taught me.
Shrug your shoulders.
Steve taught me. This is when I got divorced, and I was having a really hard time with my ex-wife, and was very toxic. And he says, "I want you to pray for good things to happen to her for a month."
Yeah.
And I thought
Like
that was the
daily?
stupidest. Yeah, daily. Pray for good things to happen to her. I thought it was the stupidest thing I ever heard. But I was going to do it because I respected him. And for like...
I don't like it, but I'll do it.
Yeah. And every day I was like saying the words, and I didn't feel them because I didn't want good things to happen for her, but I would say the words. And I remember specifically like day 28. It hit me like, holy shit, I get it. If good things are happening for her, she will treat me better. If good things are happening in her life,
yeah.
she will not have whatever, anxiety or anger or whatever it is that was happening, and she will treat me better.
And your kids, too.
Yes, all of it. That whole snowball, pebble in the pond effect. And so, that's when I really go, I really, really want her to have a better life. And I do the same thing with this guy. I really, really want him, to get recovery and to practice the principles and for good things to happen for him. I really do. Because if that happens, fuck, man, what a great person, or whatever.
So at the point when you kind of say, it's none of my business, is that when you drop into your heart?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
What's the point?
Stop yourself. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
And
Drop in your heart.
shrugging our shoulders.
Yes.
And actually doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh.
That's it.
Cool.
That's a big part.
Thanks,
In,
Steph.
in Sacramento, we had that, right? Pray for the person.
Yeah.
And it's definitely worked for me too. Another one I've heard over the years that I kind of like is when we have a resentment towards somebody or whatever, bless them, change me. Bless them, change me. I'm the sick one, probably. I'm the one that's holding on, reliving the resentment.
Yeah.
You know, they might be totally fine walking around.
Most
whatever.
likely they are, yeah.
You know, bless them, change me.
Yeah. I don't forget which one of you guys said it a couple years ago or a year ago. That guy owes a lot of back rent. He's in your head a lot.
Yeah. Rent free.
Yeah. So that's it for me.
All right, Josh, what resentment did you carry for a very long time that you have overcome today?
Was it getting sent to Spring Creek?
Yeah. I think I clear that one out, and then right now I've got we're living with my dad. My dad is living with us. We're sharing space, and I find out that I maybe am not over that all the way. I'm reminded of it often, and I regularly on a probably a daily basis have to walk through what I'm feeling and what's causing me to feel that way and what my thoughts are around it, and process myself out of a resentment with either myself or with him. Anybody that's listening too, if you could take a couple seconds to send a prayer out to my dad, and like in the hope that he finds some willingness to show up for himself. He's struggling right now, and I don't know what to do to how to help him. So keep that on your hearts for me, please. Resentments that I like, something that I've overcome would probably be like resentments towards authority. I had a pretty good resentment towards myself for like life choices, like the fucking mess that I had created, the turmoil that I had created, and the baggage that I had created because of, probation, parole, prison sentences,
Poor life choices.
yeah, just shit fucking stacked up, dude. It was a fucking grind and many of us can relate to that. It was just a grind to clean up all that baggage. And so for a while, I really struggled with my relationship with myself. And I, through a lot of work, have cleaned that up. I know that I don't resent myself for any of that old stuff anymore. I find something occasionally in the present that I will find myself getting worked up about, but and I think there's a second part to that question, is like resentments that you hold today, correct?
Yeah. Are there any other resentments that still are active today? And I think you kind of answered that, because
Yeah.
it keeps coming up.
Yeah, I think one that I guess actually kind of ties into the other one, but it's newer because I wasn't experiencing the physical pain earlier on, but I'm a little bit resentful towards myself for how rough I was on my body. I'm physically fucking struggling right now, and so I'm a little bit man, I got a lot of life left, and I'm fucking broke off. So there's that one too, but I'm in solution around that. I got a bunch of procedures coming up, and just trying to get things lined up. I got a thing that makes me smile when I think about it, so I use this analogy as I'm trying to come into the third quarter strong. I'm in the locker room right now getting a pep talk and ice packs, fucking trying to come out swinging for the third quarter.
Yeah. It's halftime right now, baby.
Yeah, dude, coach is whispering in my ear, telling me the next plays I need to make, and I'm getting ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about for you, Kyle? What resentment did you carry for a very long time that you have overcome today?
I really was struggling finding one. I had some I thought about with my mom, but when Josh said authority, there was one that really stuck out to me. The first time I went to juvenile hall, I was 13, and it was really fucked up. You know, I'm from a small mountain town, and I got sent to Stockton to French camp.
Shit, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was fucking, it was scary. It was scary, and it was fucked up. And but the second time I went to juvenile hall, I was 14, and I had been not attending school for a couple weeks, and I had a clause in my probation. I couldn't hang out with these certain people, and I was hanging out with them. And the parents of my friend came and found us at this trailer park and said, "Hey, your mom needs you to call her, and probation's looking for you, and you need to contact them." And so I went home after I had been gone for a couple weeks, and I went home and I saw my mom, and she's like, "Hey, you need to go down to probation and talk to them in the morning. They know what they know what you've been up to, and they need you to check in with them, and it's going to be okay." They said, "You're not going to go to juvenile hall, and you just got to go check in with them." So I went down there in the morning, and the probation officer said, "So what's up? Where have you been? What have you been doing?" And I said, "Okay, well, this is where I've been, and this is what I've been doing." They said, "We knew that. You're going to juvenile hall." And they put me in shackles and handcuffs, and they smirked in my face and sent me back to Stockton.
They set you up.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to fucking fuck authority. I'm going to be a good ass criminal. I'm never going to trust authority. They've never been there for me. They've never, ever been there for me my whole life. And, and I proceeded to be like a criminal. And I was like, fuck the law. Fuck the law.
So looking back, do you remember any person of authority being there for you?
Pissed off right now, dude.
Yeah, I do. Kind of. I got felony drug charges, trafficking, and I got a probation officer, and I got a drug and alcohol counselor through the court system, through drug court, and the drug and alcohol counselor was there for me. He was a recovering addict, and
Yeah, but anybody, I mean,
no,
like, he's
like
one of us.
the sheriffs would try and get me to snitch and let me go. It would keep my dope and let me keep my dope if I was willing to tell on people. As a
Yeah.
young kid, shooting up, dying on the streets, we're like, if you snitch, we'll let you go and we'll let you keep your dope. Like, no. In CPS, no authority figures ever helped me. They they let me go back to my mom, who, the story, and it's like, throughout my whole life, the authority figures never helped me. And it's had a hard time, like, even like liking the country I live in and believing in America. Like, I've never even cared about America. I'm like, fuck America.
Yeah, I mean, my childhood's the same, right? People of authority. I relate. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've overcome it today?
I'm trying to learn respect. I'm trying to learn respect and not be rebellious and have respect. And it's proving to be difficult.
I don't know what Josh is having a hard time over there.
Laughter is a sign of recognition. Yeah. Relatability.
That same probation officer, he loved when he got to go up on the stand and testify against me. He was.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any others that are still active today?
I'm trying to think. I like Kevin, and like try to work on letting them go as they come, letting them go.
I mean, you've come so far. It's hard.
It is hard. I was thinking back. I think it is shitty of my mom that she told my friends that my dad molested us when he didn't
that's
molest
terrible.
us. Like, it had a psychological effect
Yeah.
on me,
Big time.
And that's shitty. My mom, there's so many with my mom, right? Like, she would touch me sexually and get a kick out of it. And like, and it, it's not cool. It's like,
No, it's not.
not cool. And that is and her friends did the same thing. And it's like, it's not like full on like having sex with me or anything. And she would come around me naked all the time. And there would be sex toys laying around, and she'd fuck my friends. And it was just fucking weird, And
Yeah,
so
That's a lot of toxic behavior to grow up with.
so that stuff, and then she would be violent with me, right? She would hit me with a belt and the soap and the things, right? And then there became a point in time when I got big enough where I took the belt away and I started hitting her. And I learned violence with women, and it took a very, very, very long time, and it's still to this day, like, I have to really coach and mentor myself that it's not okay to hurt women. And I think that I, like, inherently hated women and wanted to hurt them.
Yeah.
And so I don't like that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to not like women or anybody. And
It's a lot to unlearn, dude.
I don't want to hurt them either. And
Jeez, I wish I could pay for trauma therapy for you.
I would like it.
I would
My-
do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. So
Well, there's a lot there.
there we go. So,
Yeah.
but I can tell you, like, thank God that I got introduced to Narcotics Anonymous, and thank God I get to realize that what's appropriate and what's you know,
Yeah.
and so I'm a productive member of society, especially this society, and what that looks like is making sure to clean up this stuff, clean up the wreckage, and deal with the past.
Yeah, part of a healthy marriage with kids too. So
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
Don't discredit yourself. For
Thank
where
you, thank you.
Where you've come from to where you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not implying that you were discrediting yourself,
No,
but
yeah.
don't forget that.
It is hard though, because I'm like that's a hard truth to accept and say out loud, that I thought it was okay and that I hated women. Like,
It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope for you to share it.
I don't think I've ever said that
Yeah,
to so many people.
It's out now. Yeah.
It's out.
Well,
So,
good for you, buddy.
thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah. Your turn.
Okay. Jimmy Z here.
Jimmy Z.
What resentment did I carry for a very long time that I've overcome today? I think, like everybody else mentioned, there's resentments of things that can come up again, and so you can work on them and have them go away. I'd say for me, I've always just kind of had a resentment towards like life or maybe God, resentful that I didn't have a mom, that my mom was killed in a car accident. Resentful that my brother Andy was in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And then before I got clean too, it was like resentful that my brother Andy passed away. Me and him were really close. And my brother Jeremy also passed away too after I got clean. And so
Did he pass away from?
cancer.
Uh,
Yeah.
I remember you were pretty bent up about
Both of them.
bent out of shape about just like, fuck this. Why would this happen? Like anti-God almost for a little bit there.
Yeah. I was working on some processes with Phil at the time about like steps 1, 2, 3. We had like a little questionnaire we'd go through about the different steps of feelings process to kind of process it.
yeah.
I can't remember it now exactly, but the last part of it, the feelings process, was like, what is your planned outcome? And so you always have a planned outcome, whether you realize it or not. And then how attached are you to the outcome? And then also, and then when you get into step 3, is like, are you willing to let this go? Are you willing to give this over, to turn this over? And so when dealing with my brother Jeremy that was sick, it was like, no, like, if his death is what's going to happen, if he's going to die, I'm not willing to turn that over. Like, I don't, And so for me, sometimes I feel like always growing up, I've kind of felt like people, like friends that I had, didn't experience the same types of loss that I had growing up, and that's just like how I felt. That may not have been true, but I kind of felt that, and I still sometimes feel that today. I get one of our sponsees, brother Steve, when he would share about stuff, he's had a lot of loss, and it recently kind of like, I was in a little bit of a funk. I think maybe I listened to his podcast, or maybe we were out at dinner and he was talking to me about stuff. But there's people that lose so much more than what I've lost,
Yeah.
So sometimes I put myself like, okay, nobody has lost as much as I have. When I know that's not true, but sometimes I can feel that way. But then it helps put it into perspective, like, that people have a lot of loss. It just happens, And for me, the part of overcoming the resentment is I don't subscribe to everything happens for a reason. I just can't. like if I think about everything happens for a reason, I think about my mom and I think about my brothers, and it mind fucks me. I cannot wrap my head around it. And so the way that I get around that is like, it just is. Like,
It's life.
things just happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it was God's will or that it was meant to happen. Or like, I do know that it can be a positive things that come out of everything. But I just don't, I just don't believe that that's like what's supposed to happen. I think it just happens.
It's also relative. It's such a struggle and pain and loss is such a relative thing based on how each individual person deals
Yeah.
with it. It's so relative.
or what they've experienced.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody might not have had the same losses that I've had, but to them, what they've experienced is maybe the same level of loss.
Yeah, there's
for
a
them.
saying, the worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who knows what the fuck that is for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one comes up for me still today sometimes. And especially in like the last year, just because I've been struggling, it's like I kind of just get like, not really interested, just like not feeling it, not feeling God or any of that kind of stuff. It's like I know that when I feel that way, that's not like I try to correct it. So I'll like even on the way here, I was struggling on the drive here a little bit, and I just was like, I turned off the radio, and I just took some deep breaths, and I was like, let me do your will, whatever that looks like. Just like said a couple like small prayers like that, like show me what I should do, and like that kind of stuff. And there's just and I don't know if I fully believe in anything, but there's a shift that happens for me when I do those things.
Yeah.
When I turn it over, when I just take a few deep breaths and I pray to just kind of relieve what I'm feeling, or that I want to follow God's will, whatever that looks like. There's a shift that happens for me, and so I don't know.
A physical one, like
Yeah.
in your body.
Yeah,
I
it
got that
happens.
one.
It's the same thing like I was talking about when I got here. I was like, I'm so glad I'm here with you guys. Same thing when I go to a meeting and I got some stuff going on in my head, and I sit down and I start listening to people share. Maybe it doesn't happen right away, but usually by the end of the meeting, there's a shift that happens for me. And I'm just like, oh, like a lot of times especially recently, it's like, I don't want to go to a meeting. I'm not going to go. I don't want to go. I'm going to make myself go. I'm going to go. I should go. I need to go. Okay, I'm going to go. And then I get there and I'm like, why did I fucking come here? I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. They're doing the readings. I don't want to be here. And then at some point, there's this shift that happens, and I'm like, this is why I come here. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Your buddy Josh does that too.
Yeah.
Just about every meeting, dude.
And I know it. I know that is my experience. And I still am like, same thing with step work. I'm like, I don't want to do step work. I'm not going to do step work. I don't want to do step work. And then I do step work. Why didn't I just do that previously? Why? I know what it's going to do for me, but I'm so resistant to doing it.
There's some really good standout stuff that's manifested in your life because of the pain and or resentments that you were talking about. Like,
Sure.
you got clean.
Yeah.
You got Andy.
Yeah.
Look how you get to show up for Gabby.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There's a lot of really cool things that came from that hurt.
Yeah, it shaped me who I am.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. But you have that perspective. It's a good thing to add into the equation when that
Yes.
resentment's poking its head around the corner. Like I'm a better man for this process that I've had.
Yeah, it's good to see the good and even in the bad, for sure.
And I like how you choose, like, I'm not going to subscribe to that. That doesn't work for me.
It doesn't,
That's what
yeah.
we get to do here.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah.
dig it.
It's not
Yeah.
it's not a universal process for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, I got a card.
Okay.
We're done with that one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. All right. Did fear of some kind affect the way you interact in relationships?
Did or does?
Both. Did fear of some kind affect the way you act in relationship, or does it still?
I'll dive in. I'll make it short, and we'll pass on to somebody else. But I think that for me, I worked the step 4. Last time I worked it with Phil, we did it through the step working guides, and then also did the step by IP, the step 4
Right,
IP,
yeah.
which we kind of correlated them both together. But in the step 4 IP, it goes through, I can't even remember what the questions are, but I remember I had like a little bit of a aha moment, and it goes through, and you have to take your different resentments and relationships through these like 10 questions, and you go through and you go each one through all these questions. And I remember the same things kept coming up for me in these questions. So I was like, okay, different situation that I'm asking, and then the same situation would keep coming up with relationships. And for me, it's usually like approval seeking is with relationships. And so like the fear that I have that carries into relationships is usually I want the other person to like me, or I want to say the right thing so that they like me, and I don't want to upset them.
Codependency.
Yeah. So that's where the fear shows up for me.
Fear of not being loved.
Loved, liked,
Good enough.
good enough. I'm a pretty likable person. I know that about me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Debatable.
Shut
Just kidding.
I think I can, I mean, and I'm, you know, like we all are a chameleon in some type of way, except for Josh. He's not a chameleon at all, but he just is who he is. It's a funny. I'm just gonna go off track for a second here. I was thinking about telling you, like, it's crazy to see, like, when you share about where you come from and where you
Oh.
are and how different they are.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the same thing when Kyle was talking. It's like I can't imagine like the violence. Like I can't even imagine you being violent towards me. It's just like crazy, you know. I know you're a little squirrely sometimes, but I know you can't correlate to Josh. I can correlate it. I can see it with Josh. like when he tells me, so he's not a chameleon at all. Yeah, I can see the.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Poor Josh.
Fuck, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I don't feel poor about it.
Yeah, it wasn't a diss or a compliment.
Yeah.
This was a
A statement.
statement.
Yeah, I get it.
But I know you probably from that time too, so maybe it's different.
Yeah, I mean, I've made some pretty bad decisions in recovery. Like
Well-
I've shown actions in recovery that aren't necessarily the best. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all have.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you fucking caught me. You were the first person I connected with.
I remember hearing Josh share in the first meeting I saw him in, and he's like, I don't really know what I'm doing here. Fucking, I'm drinking, you know, every other day or something. He's like talking about how he's drinking, and he's like, and I remember thinking, I'm like, this guy, he is not gonna stay, you know, like there's no way this guy's gonna stay.
He's never gonna.
I was like, when you talk about, you know, we talk about stick with the winners. I was like, I need to stay away from that guy. Like,
Little did he know that I got his fucking name on a fucking phone list.
yeah,
Really?
And and I called him every day for probably a year.
yeah.
No
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. He was this far side of the spectrum, like reserved, nervous. I'm not trying to.
No, yeah, that's true.
Like
Cautious.
tentative, cautious, and I'm like fucking
Loud and in your face.
removed from society standards, convict, fresh out of prison, a couple terms straight back to back, like aggressive, violent, still sleeping around, using like all of the shit. And there was this weird thing that was happening when we would talk. It was like I would say something and he would be like, "Fuck, dude," and then he would say something, but it would move me closer to center.
That's awesome.
And then I would tell the same thing. It was like we were moving towards the center. He was coming out of his shell, and I was climbing into one.
Yeah.
Or calming down.
Yeah, like there was like this middle ground that we were able to find by proxy of each other. That was
It has been really, really beautiful. for
yeah.
sure.
It's been an interesting process.
One
for
more
sure.
story, quick story about
Yeah.
Josh. I took him. There's a motorcycle race that happens locally, and he had just gotten clean. We started talking every day. We started hanging out a little bit, and so I was like, "Hey, you want to go down to Fast Fridays with me?" He had just, I don't know if he just got out of prison or what. I've never been to prison, so I don't know what that's like, and kind of he's had
You're a little naive.
yeah. And so we walk in there. He's like, he's a little bit nervous. There's like a lot of people and a lot of like noises and stuff going on. And I'm not picking up on any of it. I have no idea what's going on. And so we sit down and he's like looking around. He looks at me. He's like, I gotta fucking get out of here. And he just leaves. I don't even know if the race has started yet, but he's just like, I can't fucking be here.
A little out of your element.
Yeah, man, traumatized, dude.
He's like waiting to get stabbed, or he was just like ready.
It was just too much, dude. I'm just really, really sensitive. What I've come to find out about myself, even to this day, I still struggle. I'm more aware of what's mine and what's somebody else's, but I'm so fucking sensitive to everybody else's shit that, like,
I feel that way when I go to concerts. I feel like it's gonna pop off.
Dude,
I feel like
that's so weird.
I definitely don't want to go in a mosh pit. I'm like, that doesn't seem like playing to me. Like, I'll like,
I'll fuck you up.
Yeah,
You know
that's how I
what? You know
feel,
what's a
like-
trip about that?
yeah,
Is if I'm sharing a meeting, I have no nerves about it at
Yeah.
all. If I'm performing, I could be in front. I've literally the calmest I've probably ever been in a group of people is when we opened up for Tech Nine. It was like 1,500 people, and I was like, Tyler's like, "Are you nervous?" I'm like, "No," and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he's just like pacing back and forth. I'm like, I'm fucking pumped right now. This is great, dude. I felt nothing. But if I would have been in the crowd and I was in the crowd afterwards, I'm like, I can't be here.
right,
I'm the same way.
yeah.
It's a weird thing.
So the fear for you, Josh, the fear of some kind affect the way you interact in relationships?
I have fear of abandonment still. I have fear of abandonment. There's a couple of things, a couple of words that kind of encompass the general feeling that I struggle with the most in relationships is like manipulation, abandonment, betrayal. They float around in the same space for me. Like it's like, and so it makes me like very overly aware and like super fucking like and most of the time nowadays I'm pretty good. Like I'm like, there's like maybe a little story I'll start telling itself in the back of my head, and I'm like, nah, whatever. Like I'm not gonna I won't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
However, sometimes the trigger's big enough to where I start fucking running the numbers. I start doing the math and putting shit together and figuring out how I'm gonna get fucking hurt and how I'm being manipulated and lied to, and so that if I'm not careful, that can affect me.
It's a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a real shitty neighborhood, and I don't spend much time there. Like I spend enough time there to where like on occasional basis I've got to call somebody and be like, hey, fucking I'm tripping a little bit right now. This is what's going on, you know? And
it's always the end of the conversation is always like, I'm glad I called. I feel a lot better.
yeah,
You know?
there's some freedom in just getting it out. You
Yeah.
know? And a lot of times I've become very particular about like, and the place that shows up for me the most is with Sadie. And it's not a result of Sadie by any means at all.
No.
It's a result of my relationship with my mom. And so when that shows up, I got to be very careful because we have an very open relationship as far as communication goes. And we process a lot with each other, but there's a lot of times where I'm like, that's not for her. Like, I don't want to, I'm not going to put that on her. And so I'll usually call one of you guys and try to work through that beforehand. And sometimes all I got to do is just say it out loud. Like, was it 2 nights ago? Something happened, dude. There was a sequence of events that happened, and then one thing got said, and all of a sudden my brain was like, and fucking shot through like 6 different things and like put them all together in the wrong way. And I was like, oh, what the fuck, dude? I'm about to get crushed, dude. What the fuck? And I was tripping. I was really fucking tripping hard. Like, I knew that it was fake. It was fallacy that I'm making up in my head, but I couldn't see past it. I could not see past it. And so I sat with it for like a day and like communicated with Sadie about it. She's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I'm struggling right now. I'm tripping out a little bit. It's me. It's not you. I'm just trying to figure this out, and sorry, I'm a little bit distant. Like, I'm okay, you know? And it stayed. But I called James the next day and fucking told the whole story. And by the time I got done telling the story, I was like, what the fuck, dude? I got out the car and met Sadie to go grocery shopping, and I was like, come here, dude, I fucking love you. Like, it went away, you know? And it's because I was able
awesome.
to, share it, get off my chest. But I think also, too, like, that I do have I remember I shared earlier that, like, I can be intense. And so, like, I have a fear of pushing people away. And so
Sounds healthy.
yeah, so sometimes sometimes I can get in my head a little bit about that too, is like, I've come to understand that what life looks like for me, to me, a lot of the time doesn't transfer over with other people.
Yes. I've seen that in you.
Yeah.
And actually, you've become more of a safe place for me recently than you have been previously because of that.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep. I think
Cool.
those are the two main ways for me. Yeah.
Kyle, fear of some kind
Yeah,
affects your relationships?
Yeah, it's interesting. Josh nailed it with some of the words he used, like abandonment, betrayal. There was another one, manipulation. So I don't think I would have been able to come up with those words necessarily, and but they have been there throughout my life. Of course, starting with my mom, and then choosing girls in relationships that weren't going to be loyal because they didn't start off loyal, because I got with them when they were with somebody, and so there was a huge pattern of that. But fast forward to today, it's interesting because, like, someone once shared with me that as we get healthier, we'll attract healthier mates. And also, when I start participating in behavior like that, then I'm not thinking about it as much as if somebody else is going to do it to me. But one happened that was weird, that came blindsided me a little bit. A couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I have a daughter, and she was probably 9 or 10, and she lied through her teeth to me, and it snapped something in me. It was like I had all this fear. It's happened a couple times that she was going to be my mom. She was going to be all those women that were devious to me and manipulative and betrayal. And it struck a chord in me deep to where I felt impulsive, like, reaction to where this is absolutely cannot be. This has to be stopped. This is such a big deal. And I remember my wife was like, kids are going to lie. It's a phase. It's no big deal. And I remember it tripped me the fuck out. And I have a relationship with my daughter. So this is the fear that, and probably back to the women thing, right? Like somewhere along the lines, like she's going to be one of those women that hurt me, or like my mom. I don't know. But that tripped me out. It felt like it came out of left field. And one more is, in, let's say, the workforce, it's been a constant theme for me to feel as though people are plotting on me. They're plotting on me. They're plotting to get rid of me. They're going to find a way to get me fired. But that's because I've spent years on plotting on people prior to recovery, in different ways. And then since I've been clean, I've thought when people have treated me wrong in the workplace, I'm going to find a way to get rid of them. Like, they don't belong here. They're treating me poorly. I'm going to find out. And that's how my brain works. So the less I act and think like that and plot on them, the less I'm worried about thinking they're plotting on me. But it's still, like Josh, creeps in from time to time, and I'm thinking they're all out to get me. And they're all trying to find ways to get me fired. And it's a reoccurring thing.
I know, at least for me, when I get in those situations, I could feel that I'm not spiritually connected. Like, that's the first thing that pops in my head, is like, oh, shit. I am not feeling spiritual right now. I need to do something about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And once I get spiritually grounded, all that shit just goes away. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Shrug your shoulders, just like you said.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool?
Definitely cool.
My turn. With
Well,
your
you
mouth
asked-
full
you
of
asked-
peanuts.
Peanut butter cookie.
Oh,
You asked the question for that one, right?
yeah. Fear of some kind that affected. I my very first one when I read this for the first time, and it kind of is so implanted in my what do they call that, like
Psyche.
neuropsyche, right? I had always been afraid that information that my girlfriends or ex-wife has on me, they'll use against me. Right? So I couldn't trust them with information, because if they knew something personal or intimate about me, they're going to use that information. If we get in a fight, they're going to go tell their friends. And so I couldn't communicate with them. I couldn't share with them. I couldn't talk about feelings. That was a big fear for me. And it did affect my relationship with Jen for quite a few years, because I was always under that impression that that's what she was going to do, until I actually did step work. Step work changed all of that, and now I have like complete trust with her. I know for a fact she would never do anything to harm me. She might say something that might hurt my feelings, but I'm responsible for my feelings. She's probably just telling the truth, and I get my feelings hurt. That was like my fear. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of fears today.
Want to move on to reservations?
Who's got that card?
It's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about a reservation you had when you first got clean, and what does that look like today? So, something that you came into recovery with that, like, if this happens, I'll get loaded, or if this happens, I'll do that. And then also, do you currently have any reservations today that you think may take you out? Kyle, you want to go? This turned out to be good. I'm glad we did this.
A couple of things that I thought in early recovery were, I came in with a drug-induced psychosis, and it was pretty bad. But so I wasn't of the clearest sound of mind. But I used to think that smoking crack didn't affect me in a bad way, and that potentially I possibly could smoke crack. That's my honest truth. Another one was in early recovery. I remember thinking, if I found a badass connection that I could get like an ounce of dope for really cheap, it might be hard to say no to selling it. And it's so funny because later down the road, I worked in an area where there were, I don't know, let's say kilos upon kilos upon kilos available if that's what I wanted to choose. And I didn't want to choose, and I never chose. And I knew if I didn't put dope in my hand, I wouldn't get loaded. But it seems funny to think, if I had a connection that just could get me an ounce for really cheap, that I might be tempted. But and then as for today, I feel that I'm transparent, that if anything comes up, I talk about it, put a hit on it, so I make sure to do that consistently. For reservations, I do have like a few different things of reservations. To me, it's not always so much as cut and dry as if this happens, if that happens. It could be anything I'm not willing to surrender to the program. What am I not willing to surrender? What am I not willing to let go of? Because it works on why is what states as a reservation for us. And there has been things that I feel like I'm not willing to let go at times. And
Is it a secret?
Is it a secret?
Like things you're not willing to let go, or is it a behavior?
Not a secret. Probably behavior.
Behavior.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like, and I think from what we've shared about before, that that comes and goes. It's like, if you're not spiritually connected, that stuff will creep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, because that will, like, cripple our growth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it will short circuit our spiritual development.
Page 42.
Only willing to surrender. only willing to surrender in certain areas will short circuit our spiritual development.
Paragraph 3, page 42. It works on why.
So, yeah.
That is not the page or the book. Which page and book is that?
I can't do it. I don't prove
All
you guys right.
Kevin?
What was the question?
Reservations.
Oh, yeah.
Then and now.
I don't... like today, I don't have reservations. It's exactly what you said. Like there's nothing that if this happens, I'm going to get loaded. What I'm talking about now, every once in a while in my head, I will have a conversation or I'll play out a scenario in my head because I'm sick in my head a lot of times. You know, if that guy does one thing, you know, I'm going to defend myself or something like that, and I play this whole scenario out in my head, and it's not even close to anything that's ever happened in my life.
Yeah.
Right. You know, if my dad says this thing to me the next time I see him, and you know, and he says, "Hey son, how are you? I love you." And in my head, I had like full on conversations of how this whole thing's going to play out, and I build that thing up, and I already hate him in my head because of what he didn't say. You know.
Never even considered reservations of violence. That's
You?
not yeah, I've never even thought about that as part of this process that we're doing right now, or just reservations in recovery in general. I've always just like, did I ever think I was going to get loaded? Like I have. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I'm glad you're saying
different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's new. It's new
And
for
it's
me.
not, and it's not like strictly like violence or anything, because you know, all that stuff is you know, is in my head for a second or a minute or so, and then the 2 foot drop, and then I'm like, I'm thinking crazy again. I just need to settle down, whatever. But early recovery, I knew it wasn't I was going to get loaded. It was I'm going to commit suicide. Because I was still getting loaded and dropping dirty tests, and I didn't know it at the time, but my PO was in the program. And, you know, I made this decision when I came home with my son, in, you know, the whole story there. But if I was going to get rolled up and sent to do my term, I knew I was going to commit suicide. I already made that decision. And so that was that reservation. And I think that was about it. I didn't really have, if this thing happened, I'm going to get loaded. I was 20 years old. I didn't have a lot of shit to go on.
Yeah.
You know? Jimmy Z.
Jimmy Z, yeah. I think it's shifted for me since I had this injury and started getting on pain medication and stuff. I would say when I got clean 10 years ago, it was really clear in my head that I didn't want to keep living that life. Like I did not want to try to play around with anything to use. Since the relapse and with pain medication, I'd say the disease plays a little bit more. You know, thoughts come up more. Like I mentioned earlier, like probably what holds me on the most is you guys. And so like what I mean by that is probably that sometimes I think about like, oh, it'd be nice just to like go and smoke some weed or like drink a beer after work. I think about that sometimes. But then I think about like, I play the tape forward and think about what that looks like what that
You
was.
say play the tape forward?
Yeah, like okay, if I made that decision,
Yeah.
what happens next?
I always heard it play the tape through.
Well,
Just interesting.
yeah, I played the tape forward. I've done it through also, but this time I was doing it forward.
All right.
So yeah, I would say that thoughts come up and where I think about it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's really a reservation. I mean, I don't like play around with the idea for very long. It doesn't take me very long to go like, oh, that's not a good idea. Like I'm not going to do that, you know. And then other reservations, there's, you know, I think when I first got clean, there was like reservations, like if this happened, I don't know how I would react, you know.
Yeah.
If I was in the same shoes that like my dad was in when, you know, my mom was killed and my brother was hurt, like if I was him and had kids and a family and that happened to me, I don't know. When I first got clean, I was like, that was a reservation that I put down on my 4-step. Now I know that I know that from experience and from seeing what other people go through, that I could get through anything clean. But there's still a part of me that like doesn't. You don't know until you go through something. There could be something that you don't know what it's going to be like until you go through it. But I do think that it's possible to walk through anything clean.
Yeah. So I understand the difference, like the predetermined outcome that you believe if this happens, I'm going to get, and then there's like if shit that you don't even think about encountering happens, you just don't know.
You don't know what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
For me, a scary place for me is if I got injured again. I don't know if I could get through that again. I don't know if I could get through getting back on pain meds again. I mean, I know it's possible. But I would be scared to get back on pain meds again if I had to for pain. Really.
I feel that we would have a different plan for you if you needed to.
Yeah.
You know, a better management of the pain medication.
Sounds terrible. Yeah. I would not want to do that.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah. It's scary. I mean, I did really good for a long time on the pain medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's sneaky. So
I watched it happen, dude. Because
Yeah.
I've been through it a bunch of times. I'm like, every time I talk to you, I'd be like, oh,
yeah.
fuck.
Careful, James.
Yeah.
I felt it happen and I just couldn't. Pain sucks. It
You
sucks.
said it too. You're like, I'm fucking slipping, dude.
Yeah.
You even talked about it. It's tough, dude. I got surgery coming up. And I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't excited about the fucking freebie, dude.
Yeah.
So, I like.
Josh just licked his lips for everybody that's listening.
I'm not looking forward to the process of going through the pain meds, and I'm going to take them for the shortest amount of time that I need to take them, and I have accountability with Sadie, with you guys. I'm not worried about.
I get it. You're looking forward to it, though.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I know it's going to feel amazing.
Yeah.
And so, my life is fucking stressful as fuck right now, and the idea of that is exciting to me, and I can't tell you that I don't feel that way. I wish I could.
Looking forward to it, yeah.
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 Am I happy that I feel that way? No. Do I think that it's good that I'm excited or looking forward to that? Probably not. But the reality is, like, I've been through it before. I'm going to be okay, and I'm going through a pretty intensive process that is going to really fucking suck. And I can't put it off any longer, and I need to get through it. And so I take the precautions that I need to take, and I'm going to be okay. And so, but I know that feeling. So reservations for me. I really like that you brought up the
Violence?
the violence thing, man, because I don't act out in that way, but there is for sure a large part of me that is still active as fuck in my head. Like, I will for sure do some stupid shit if I get put in the position that justifies it.
Yeah.
And like, I know I have to be careful in that space for sure. And I've come so far in that way. Like, there's been a lot of times in recovery where, like, I've gotten lucky. Usually it's in traffic. I've been very fortunate, that nobody got hurt. And,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
We know that using dope, anything, is an option, right? We know it's an option. But as in the name of a reservation, like, we take it off the table. Like, I'm not going to have a reservation for it, right? Like, I'm taking that off. That's not the option.
Yeah.
Right? What would it look like to take violence off the table in the name of, you used the sentence, you said, in the right situations that was justified, I will do it. Like, right? What if it would take the idea of justifying it to where, like, oh, well, if my life is at stake, or if this is whatever, like, and just be like, hard no, I'm not practicing violence.
Like
Yeah,
like there's
I-
no justification.
Yeah,
for
I'm not.
no-
I'm not ready for that. Yeah,
Isn't that what it would look like?
Yeah, no,
Would
I
there be
understand.
freedom
And
to
I was thinking about that when Kevin started talking about it. I was trying to process like what that looks like, and I'm like, there's part of me that's like, I don't feel confident enough in the stability of society to wrap my head fully around vowing out of silence, or I mean, out of
Yeah.
violence. Yeah, I just don't. I can't. Now, does that mean I'm like looking for an
I
opportunity?
know.
Yeah, no, but.
What I
Like-
think what he's asking though is, what would it look like if you did? You think you'd get punked?
No, I'm not worried about getting punked. It's not a pride thing. It's a
Self-preservation.
yeah, self-preservation. Yeah, or
So
no, it's like
You'll die, basically. It's like,
no, I'm not worried about dying because that's the reality is like I won't. That's the thing, you guys. Like I'm not gonna like in my head, I'm not gonna vow out of it because, and this could be another moment where talking about it out loud might get me there. But the reality is, and what I come back to every time I start thinking about stuff like that is like, I don't need to worry about that because that will play out however it's going to play out when that time comes. And until then, I don't need to be that person.
Yeah, I think the point I was making when talking about it was like all of that is in my head. Like I'm gonna need to defend myself, and I play the whole scenario out in my head.
No, I just fantasize about it a little bit.
Well, I mean, same
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's in my head,
Yeah.
and so the 2-foot drop, I don't even entertain it in my heart. Doesn't
Yeah.
even get there.
Yeah, there's something. I mean, I don't got it figured out in that space because I still.
If it stays in your head,
Yeah.
just leave it there.
Yeah, it does. It stays
Yeah.
there, but
but in the right circumstances.
Yeah.
dude, I
hear
crave
you.
that chaos, dude.
And the
There's part of
fantasy,
me
right?
that wants that.
The fantasy or whatever, is it similar to like if we were romanticizing dope? Like, is there a
It-
romance relationship with it?
No, I don't look forward to the day that comes if it ever does. But I'm not like if I think about it, I'm like,
It's like my right. It's my right.
no,
to
no.
keep
It does something for me.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I got you.
Like if I think about it too much, I'm like, oh
You know?
yeah, it just does something for me. I don't know,
I
dude.
got you.
There's just more work for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get to. Is like
Yeah.
I don't have it figured out. Like
Yeah,
there's something there that I hadn't really.
It'll happen.
Yeah, and I
Don't worry
believe
about it.
I believe that. Yeah,
Yeah,
and this
don't
may be the start of that for
love
me.
it.
You know.
Cool.
And I don't practice violence.
I know. I haven't.
I haven't put my hands on anybody since I was in prison. That's like a decade now.
Yeah.
So like I'm not practicing violence, but in my head, it still goes there. You know,
You know what helps me?
and I like it.
You know what helps me? You've shared with me a time, so I can think of a specific time with you, but I'm not going to say it on the tape. But I have my own specific times where I practice them, right? And I really, 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 really hurt somebody that, like, it wasn't cool, right? It was like,
Been there,
it was
dude.
not right. And I think about those times, and I think about it clear in my mind instead of the times where it was like, where I think maybe it was justified or like whatever, protecting myself or something. But the times when I really hurt somebody that was fucked up, I envision what I experienced like after that, like, and it helps me to let go of it
Yeah.
because I'm
Good.
more worried about doing that than having to ever protect myself.
Well, I think that's why I don't practice it anymore.
Right. I just to keep it clear, like to
Yeah.
keep it fresh and not because be too far away from that.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm not
like
trying. I'm not trying to hurt
James
anybody.
says, play the. What do you say?
Tape forward.
Play the tape forward.
Walk it forward. Walk the tape forward.
Something.
The well, and like I said earlier too, is like I practice a life of not causing harm, and I strive for peace, and so
Good.
yeah, and I don't have any reservations about getting loaded. I never have. Like I never approached this recovery thing like if this happens then that or this happens then that. Like I'm like I fucking don't want to go back to prison, but at the beginning it was like I don't want to stop using drugs, and then once I stopped using drugs I was like I don't want to get loaded anymore.
Like, couldn't you say that there's an argument to be made that since you've relapsed that maybe there was a reservation?
No. I mean, you could try and argue it if you want. We could debate it if you want.
I know
thought
what
about
you're
this.
saying, James, but I've been in his shoes before. when it was just like I wasn't plotting or planning or anything.
Yeah.
I just walked in a room and somebody was getting high, and I go, I could do that.
Yeah, I'm a drug addict, dude. Shit happens,
Yeah.
you know.
And I didn't
I didn't
plan
have
it.
any reservations about it. I never wanted to go get loaded. Like it was never like I'm like looking for an excuse. It was just, I mean, I think my first relapse was once I actually was like, all right, I'm doing this clean thing. It was
I remember.
car accident. The car accident. I crashed the company vehicle, broke my arm, pain meds, and I fucking was taking them the right way, and the next thing I know, I'm fucking chewing them up. And then I was like, I fucking chewed up more pain meds than I was supposed to take. Started my time over. But that fucking, the door was open in my head. And then my back injury, and then this, and then that, and then one thing after another. It's just, yeah, there's no reservations. I think all of us at one time or another, like the idea of getting loaded can creep in, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's sneaky. It may not happen to all of us on a fucking consistent basis, but I don't know that I would call that a reservation. I mean, it could be. I guess it depends on your perspective, but
Yeah.
The basic text says that relapses are never by accident.
Cool.
what page is it on?
I'll show you.
I believe you. I know it says it. I was
It's
just
in
wondering
there.
if you know what page it's on.
If he says it's in there, I believe him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess maybe you could constitute a relapse. Maybe that you could have a reservation if your program isn't, if there's something missing in your program. So like in the literature also it says that we've never seen a person who lives the Narcotics Anonymous program relapse, and so I guess what I interpret what the literature is talking about is that like if you're living the program and you're practicing the principles and all your affairs and doing all the stuff, that you won't relapse.
So basically, if your program's not dialed in, that
Yeah.
in itself is a reservation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, and I like
I
that.
like that, too.
and
That's good.
I like that we have a choice, no matter what. That's why it's not an accident, because we have a choice, right? But of course, if our program isn't dialed in, our choice is going to be wavering, right? Like, and it'd be
Yeah,
easy.
the door's wider open.
Yeah. So
I mean that correlates well with I have a service commitment, but I'm not connected to it.
Wow.
And then there's
Correlates with my relapse too.
Yeah.
For where I was at.
Program was struggling.
Yeah.
There, I think there's another.
This is good. That's
another couple like tweaky ones to like think about is the idea of like the disease of addiction is cunning and insidious, right? It's sly, it's sneaky, it's crafty, it's artful, and it will lie and wait to ambush, and that ambush will be sly, sneaky, crafty, and artful. And so, for instance, you have a surgery coming up. You have to have pain medication. You say, I have accountability, and it's going to be okay, right? Like, but what is the plan? Does Josh get to hold on to the medication and hold on to it himself? Because Josh has taken bottles of pills and said, oh shit, to my significant other, I've taken all the pills. So should Josh have access to all the pills?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
I know
No.
that's true for me. I can't have access to the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll probably.
I mentioned having a plan
Yeah,
to you.
I'm gonna get a lockbox. I mean,
There you
we
go.
have
Yeah.
we have a safe.
Yeah.
I have the combination to the safe, but I think I'll probably utilize the safe and just not be in charge of it.
Yeah.
And if that gets weird, then I'll just buy a lockbox and Sadie can keep the key. I also don't want to put the responsibility on her. So
I mean that you have a support group. If it's not her, who else could it be? Is there somebody up
It's
in your
tough,
way?
dude. I've thought about this. It is hard to give that control over, even if you're trying to do it right. Because there's like, okay, take as needed. It's like, okay, well, when am I going to need it? I'm going to need it when I'm in pain. And so there's like a level of like, it's hard to surrender that.
yeah, it's a touchy process, and I just
Yeah.
need to be careful. I need
get
to
it.
practice accountability with everybody, and
I'm not busting your balls.
no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't feel like you are at all.
Okay.
It's a sketchy fucking. Last time I got prescriptions that I liked as a drug addict, I fucking ate the whole bottle in 4 hours. So
You put them up your butt.
I
Yeah.
did, dude. I wasn't getting high enough swallowing them, and I started fucking hooping them, dude.
I was like,
Dumping them out into toilet paper and fucking parachuting them up my fucking ass, dude.
Josh called me. He's like, I think I relapsed, dude, because he told me about the medication he was taking. He's like, I think I relapsed, and I'm like, I'm like, dude, I know you talked to your doctor. I know it's prescribed. I don't think that you relapse. Let's, let's talk about it. He's like, dude, I think I relapsed. I'm like, oh. So I was trying to, ttalk him out of it. He started talking about it. And as soon as he said, he started putting him in his butt. I was like, yep, you relapsed.
Yeah. There's no coming back from that one.
All right, you're right. Yeah, you relapsed.
Fucking gets weird fast, dude.
It was like within hours.
Yeah, well, I was taking them right, and I was staying in contact with you. It was Adderall, which is like one of my favorite fucking drugs, and so I was hopeful for like the assist that I was getting from him. I was really struggling. Went to psychiatrist. Went through the whole process with accountability with Sadie, accountability with James. I was talking to you about it too, and I called James like on day 3, and I'm like, dude, it's fucking got me, dude. I don't think I can take these anymore. And my plan was from that phone call, go home, flush them. That's it. Instead, I went to flush them and dumped them in my hand, and I ate a couple, and then I had probably, I don't know, 20 or 25 left. And by midnight that night, the bottle was gone, and I just fucking straight drug addict, straight drug addict. And there was no, I guess. Yeah, reservations are fucking sneaky. I guess
The disease is sneaky.
Disease is sneaky as fuck, boy.
Up your game. Up your recovery game.
I think we probably. We've been going for.
Well, we did reservations, resentments,
Yeah.
fears,
assets.
assets. We talked about all our childhood, and that covers shame and guilt.
And we have a plan for moving on of what we're going to do. We're going to work on our gratitude list.
Yeah.
We're going to read the chapter of grieving. I'm going to read the chapter
Story time. Want to go around and do a story?
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Okay.
What kind of story?
Fucking something fucked up, dog.
No way.
Yeah, tell us.
I told you all the crazy shit.
Yeah.
Covered some good ones, yeah.
Yeah, you got one you haven't told?
I don't get the concept.
Just something wild
You
that
go.
you went through in recovery.
You go first, for an example. Now I put you on the spot. Anything crazy happen in prison?
Yeah.
He normally doesn't really like talking about prison.
I'll talk about it. That's fine. I don't think I've ever shared. I've definitely never shared at group level about it. But there was a period of time in CDC which is California Department of Corrections, and I was getting close to the end of my term, and there was a lot of drugs coming into the facility, and the Pisces had a drop show up, and a skinhead was the one that was picking it up, and it was confirmed that it was dropped, and in between it making it back to housing, it disappeared. And the skinhead said that it never came, and nobody had any proof of anything. And there was 4 skinheads in the unit at the time. And I know politics were shifting a lot. Like on my way out, like things were starting to change. And so I can't speak for what they look like now. But when I was there, skinheads and Woods politicked partially separately. Like skinheads were supposed to clean up their own mess. Woods were supposed to clean up their own mess, but everybody was white. And so they could politic together, but there was a little bit of a separation between skinheads and Woods. And what was happening is that the skinheads and a circle of people that they associated with they had action, they had stuff going on, and nobody could account for where it came from, but there was no evidence of any large amounts of anything. It was just like signs of like, hey, this dude might have been up for about 4 or 5 days, and there's nothing. This drop was the next thing to roll over everybody until the next thing came. And so all of a sudden nobody has anything because it's dried up, and this guy's on a sick one. At least everybody thinks he's on a sick one. And what happened is there was pressure from from the Paisas and the Southsiders, but no, like, we're not allowed to allow another race to tell us how to politic or what to do within our own people. And so there was tension building and pushback, and like, we had this kind of situation with the Woods where, like, we kind of shared the keys. There was a couple of us that we kind of, like, took the responsibility of holding the keys for the whites there at that time. And we just were trying to kind of let it play out. And what eventually happened is the skinhead that was suspected of stealing the drop was taking a shower, and there was Paisas in the shower with him, and he pulled out a knife and started tripping on all the Paisas, and people were jumping over walls to get away from him because he was fucking losing his mind.
Do you know what a Paisa is?
It's a non-affiliated Mexican from more or less like from Mexico, like more Mexican than American.
Gotcha.
They're not Southsiders, they're not Northerners, they're Paisas.
Okay.
And so there's a little bit of panic going on in the unit, and essentially what happened is, and now at this time, there's shit happening in the shoe where Northerners and Southsiders and Paisas all started, there's orders coming down from higher ups where they start politicking together, and this is very, very foreign to how things have been going. Northerners and Southsiders do not function together, and all of a sudden they are starting to function together. And so what happened is there's probably, I don't know, maybe 55 to 65 Mexicans, and there's probably about that many whites. And because the dude pulled the knife, the Mexicans pressed us and said, like, hey, either you clean it up or we're going to, you know, and we're not allowed to allow another, like, there's no interracial violence is not allowed. And so if they were to do that, it would have been a riot no matter what.
No, you got to clean up your own.
Well, either we're going to war or we feel justified personally, not because they're pressing us, that this guy, we have enough against this situation to severely hurt this human because we feel that he's in the wrong versus what they're telling us to do. And this dude was my friend. Like, I programmed with him, you know? And so we were close. We spent years together. And so, like, there was all this pressure building, and every Mexican in the unit was off of their rack. There was cops there watching everything, knowing what was happening, and waiting for it to escalate or to solve itself, because they knew that if we didn't clean it up, that it was going to be a riot, and they would rather have us just do a removal than to have to deal with a riot. And so
they had authority.
They were waiting for us to clean up our mess. And what ended up happening is, like, eventually one of the key holders decided that it was we're going to take this guy out. And so at this point I'm fucking furious because there's like 10 white dudes in the whole unit that are off of their rack that are ready, and there's like 65 fucking Mexicans, and it's just us. Nobody else is ready, participating. Everybody's scared, hiding, and all of the pressure of, like, keeping everybody safe was, like, building in there, and it was like this weird, it was just a really fucked up energy in the room, you know. Obviously people are about to fucking get killed, you know. And so I ended up rushing the guy, and he pulled out a knife, and luckily he did not get me, and I was able to get him down quickly, and we proceeded to put boots to him and all kinds of shit. There's you're not supposed to kick somebody. You're not supposed to kick another white person, like, in the head when they're on the ground. That's within our own politics with whites. Like, it's not something you're supposed to do. And, you know, it's easy to lose track of stuff like that in the midst of the feelings that are floating around and my life being at risk and whatever. So, needless to say, I went pretty far overboard.
This was the story I was thinking of when I was talking to you about thinking of one.
Yeah, it's a good story. If you're listening, don't go to prison. It's not fun.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, and so what ended up happening is I went overboard, and cops rushed in, and everybody kind of just spread out, like just fucking took off, and the cops, like I said, the cops were watching, and so. They knew exactly who did what and how it all played out. And what ended up transpiring from that is the cop that was in charge of the unit at that time came over to my bunk in order after checking everybody else's, and he told me they were doing knuckle checks, and he told me thank you, and just kept walking like nothing happened. And
yeah.
And then a day or two later, the two guys that like on Front Street had the keys for the whites, they removed them. And then I didn't want the fucking full responsibility. And so, and now because I put boots to this skinhead who the skinheads were supposed to handle themselves, the skinheads are talking about whacking me. And so, and the Mexicans, the night after all this shit happens, somebody sneaks over to me and slides a bag of crank into my bunk area, and I proceeded to get loaded and fucking trip on everybody for about a week, pressing everybody, beating up whites that weren't off their bed with their boots on, and doing DPs and fucking breaking people off with burpees, and it just sucks. It's a shitty place to be. But yeah, that's an example of a pretty wild prison story, I think.
That's enough.
Yeah. Anyway, the keys ended up. I ended up falling in line with that whole process, because if I didn't, it was like I stayed up too long and I'm tripping on everybody. I might as well take the responsibility. And so, but what happened is I stayed up for about a month. And that got me clean. The only sleep I was getting is when I would fall out, because I'm tripping about getting killed. I don't want to get, I'm close to the house. I got 45 days till I go home. And that process, that was the first time where somebody got through to me about not doing drugs anymore. I sat down on a bunk and somebody said, he was like one of the only guys I respected there. And he's like 50, 55. Been doing this his whole life, and he's like, if you don't stop doing drugs, you're going to be me. And it hit, like it sunk in for me. And so I actually got clean before I hit the fence, and before I hit the gate, and I had about 25, 30 days clean when I got out. And if I hadn't gone through all of that chaos and heard him say that one thing after all that fucking insanity, like it might have been a revolving door for me,
Yeah.
So it's kind of trippy how it all played out.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it's a trip, dude. It really is. It takes what it takes.
James,
Jimmy Z here. Oh, how do I follow that up?
what about that one time you shanked that guy in the neck?
Oh yeah. I can't talk about that yet because
What about the horse and the shit in your pants?
It hasn't been 10 years.
That's the one I thought about, dude.
No.
For me.
Pants shitting.
I've listened to I think every podcast you've had, so I know about this question, and I've often thought like I don't know what I would share because I don't really have that much crazy things that
You're
happen.
not a crazy guy.
I'm not a crazy guy. I think a lot of things.
Craziest thing that's ever happened to you is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you.
Yeah. Meeting Josh. It's the craziest thing that happened to me.
Scary.
there was a lot of times of like, heroin was my drug of choice, and so being loaded and like, like waking up in places, or like like people wake me up like it's time to go, and then like I get in a vehicle, and then waking up somewhere else, and then waking up with like people, and then all the shit's gone out of my backpack, and everybody's high around me and that kind of stuff. I can when I was planning on getting clean this last time, bringing smuggling drugs into Mexico. That was kind of stupid. But
Really? You did that?
yeah. This when I got clean 10 years ago, I moved to Mexico.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you like smuggled drug. Did you know that there's drugs in Mexico?
Yeah, I mean I assumed, but I didn't know. And but I had a plan. It was like, okay, I took a bunch of stuff down there, and I did the plan. To whatever.
You followed through.
I followed through. And then, yeah, I guess the
Self-induced taper.
self-induced taper, yeah. When I was in Mexico, I had about 10 days clean, and I was withdrawing really bad, and I had really bad diarrhea. I could barely leave the bathroom. And somehow, in between that time, the bathroom, and I got on a horse.
Why'd you get on a horse?
I think my uncle was like, you need to go horseback riding. And so I was like, I just was doing whatever. So like, I got on this horse, and it should have been this like really beautiful experience. The ocean was on the left, and the jungle was on the right. We're like going down the beach. And really, the only thing that was like going through my mind is like, I don't want to shit my pants on this horse, I didn't shit my pants on the horse.
You didn't?
I did not. Yeah.
Oh.
I know. So it's kind of a lame story, but
Do you want to change that? I think we can go ahead and let you
I
embellish.
will tell you something cool about that story if you want a happy ending.
Yes.
Okay. I was having this really shitty experience, like withdrawing on this horse. Should have been a beautiful experience. Like I was acknowledging where I'm at, like it was beautiful, right?
Yeah. But
I was really struggling, and it goes up to this. We go up to like this top of a hill overlooking the ocean, and at this time my brother Andy had just passed like 2 months before this, and so I was like grieving, withdrawing. My life was a mess, and there was like a sawhorse up there, and engraved in the sawhorse was my brother's name. It said Andy.
Oh, wow.
And it was the first moment that I just like I felt like I was in the right place at the right time, and it was like it gave me like a little spark to keep moving. Kind of felt like my brother was
That's
with
pretty
me.
cool.
Yeah,
It's like a sign.
it felt like it. Yeah, I'm not really into all that signs and
I'm not
such.
either.
But it's just like the whole everything. It's like I don't know what I believe, but when it works, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
It works, and so that was. So.
I have one prior to recovery or one in recovery. Which
Whatever
would
you
you guys
want.
rather hear?
Prior's probably crazier.
Yeah, but it's not as hopeful.
Okay, in
But-
recovery then. Let's do that one.
Okay.
So
So
I want the before recovery.
I want before recovery
I
too.
want
yeah.
dirty. Will it
tell me
incriminate you in
No.
a crime?
I mean, Kyle. He's probably could be pretty dirty in recovery.
yeah,
Oh, true. Yeah, your choice.
Yeah, you
Okay.
tell
Your
it.
choice.
I can do both pretty quickly.
Sick.
Okay, really quickly. We talked about how I had the case and I got vindicated of the crime. I got loaded. I was loaded for a couple weeks. I got out of town, and how I went to boarding school, the same boarding school Josh went to. I got kicked out for fighting. I had the option of getting sent to Jamaica. I begged and pleaded to my family not to send me to Jamaica. They brought me home, just like Josh. I started with a little bit of weed, cocaine. Next thing you know, my mom gave me meth on my 18th birthday, and I was off and running again. And I caught a case. I didn't catch a case. I committed a crime, and I got consequences, right? And and then I went to rehab. And I wound up getting my feelings hurt, and I left the rehab after 2 weeks. And I said, I'm not going to get loaded. I'm not going to get loaded. I'm not going to get loaded. It was in the middle of nowhere, miles and miles and miles away from everything. But I hitchhiked out of there, and I went to my mom's house trying to get loaded, and she wasn't there. She was at the casino. I went next door. The next door neighbors were talking about going to get loaded down in Modesto. And I was like, I could fucking walk right up the street and get loaded. So I walked right up the street and I got loaded after not being loaded for 2 weeks. And I shot a bunch of crystal meth and I drank Bacardi, and I was out of my mind. And somehow I got to my house and I got into my vehicle and I drove to that town where the guy who I had the altercation with was from. And it's a small rural town that's known for being lawless and violence, and just there is no law there. And I went to these people who were somewhat normal people who were using, I guess. Like, they're not normal people, but I was a violent criminal and these people weren't. But they were linked up with that guy. And they set me up. And they took me somewhere and had the guy come. And I remember I just drank a bunch of Bacardi and I shot a bunch of crystal meth after being in rehab for 2 weeks, and I was out of my mind. And they took me to this gas station, and they went in the gas station, and they were in there for a really long time, and I didn't know what was going on. Next thing you know, that guy pulls up next to me and rolls down his window and says, "Hey, motherfucker, do you know, where you're at? You know who I am?" And I was like, no. And he's like, "Do you know who you are?" And I was like, "No." And out of nowhere, this lady walks up yelling and screaming. And she says, "Get the fuck away from him. Get the fuck away from him. That's my nephew." I've never seen this lady in my life, and I never saw her again. And that guy drove away.
She must have knew the guy.
Yeah. It felt like a guardian angel.
You had the feeling that he was about to cap you?
For sure, 100% on broad daylight. And then
Yeah.
this lady came up screaming out of nowhere.
That's a trip.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
God shot, dude.
Thanks,
It felt-
Auntie. Yeah.
Okay, really quickly, I'll make this really quick. My last relationship before my marriage, towards the end, it was going really bad. It was unhealthy. It started unhealthy. I got with her when she was with somebody else. There was insecurities on both ends, but I really liked the girl. The relationship lasted 18 months. She had a son. The son had never lived with her. She had the son when she was 16 years old, and we together got custody of the son. The son came to live with us. He had a lot of problems. He had trauma. He had really bad trauma, and he'd pee in the bedroom on the floor, and he would steal from me all the time. And I started getting resentful. He kept stealing from me, stealing my monies, all these things. And I remember getting to the point where I felt like it was unsafe for him to be there, how resentful I was towards him. And then week in and week out, she would come up with some crazy thing where she doesn't trust me, and she's like, "Are you cheating on me?" And I told her, "Not only do I love you, I'm not going to cheat on you for you, but I'm not going to cheat on you for me, because that's not who I am today." And I meant it, right? And week in and week out would go by. And finally there was this crazy incident where she saw this girl following me around at my job who was a server. She was a server, and I had to cash her out the server, and I was busy doing things, and I have like ADHD, and I'm bouncing all around. And at the end of the day, she comes at me like really crazy about this situation with this girl who needed to get cashed out. And I said, "I'm done, and we're breaking up." And she said, "Will you go to counseling with me?" And I was like, I'd never tried counseling. I was like, "I'll give it a shot." So she sets up the counseling appointment. I pray to God, "God, if this is meant to work out, let it work out. And if it's not meant to work out, please don't let it work out." We go into the counseling appointment. Never had counseling before, couples counseling. The guy tells us how it's going to go. One person's going to talk. The other person's going to listen. And you got it? I said, "Yeah." So she goes. She tells her whole spiel. I tell my whole spiel about what I just told you guys. Didn't really feel like it was even safe for her son to live with me anymore. She doesn't trust me, and I am committed to the relationship, and I don't want to be in it anymore. I want this relationship to be over. He talks to both of us, and he says the relationship is over, and it should be. And I get out of the relationship, right? The girl had to live with me for a month or two after that, and I was committed to not sleeping with her. I didn't sleep with her because I knew that it would cause it to all start all over again. The cycle would start all over again. I had done this a lot of times. And so I get out, and she moves out, and I start working with Kevin. And 6 months goes by, and I'm wanting to date. And I'm wanting to date to the point where I want a marriage. I want to build a life. And Kevin tells me that I should create a list of things I want in a relationship and things I don't want. And I had like a list of 30 things, probably like on each side. And close to the top of one of the things I said I wanted in a partner was that I wanted the woman to have the same God as my understanding. And I was like really, really adamant about it. And when I brought it to Kevin, Kevin said, "I think we could scratch that one off the list and just put that one aside and have some open-mindedness and see what happens." And I believed in Kevin, and I wanted what Kevin had, and I followed direction, and I scratched it off the list. My wife, who I had known for about 10 years, had been recently divorced and had been out of her marriage for roughly 6, 7, 8, 9 months, and I had always liked her and respected her and never went after her and chased her, even though she was in a relationship. When that was my MO, I said, I'm going to leave that girl alone. And now she pursued me and asked me if she could take me on a date. And I remember we have a friend, we have friends, Jim and Lynn, and Lynn told me that if I want a relationship really to work, I would go on at least 10 dates with the person before I ever slept with them. And so I said, I'm going to do this right. She wants to ask me on a date. I was committed to not sleeping with my wife for it was over a month of dates, just talking and being totally transparent about our past and where we're at and currently. And we decided to give it a go that we were going to date, and we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And then if you fast forward just a little bit, shortly after, she said to me, Kyle, I want to let you know I have no interest in ever being married again. And I was really bummed. And I was thinking I really wanted to be married. And so I told her, I said, you know what? If you ever change your mind, you let me know. And I just let it go. And we continued to date and continued to date. And a couple years later, she tells me she changed her mind. She wanted to get married. And we get married. And about a year ago, she came to me and said, I'd like to pursue the God of your understanding. And she said, I'm gonna go down that route. And I was like, whoa, full circle. So it was just,
that's cool.
It was, and that was no influence on my end. She just said that's what she's going to choose to do. And it was by taking it off the list and not making it, I took it off the list and it came back full circle to where it wound up finally happening. So on its own,
letting go paid off.
Letting go paid off. That was the moral of the story.
Nice.
So to me, it was big and important because I followed direction and I let go. And here we are.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I look back on my life and I think about so many near-death experiences and the bad places I ended up at. I only get one.
No, can I pause just for a second?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. What with Kyle, when you told him to take it off the list, what prompted you for you to ask him to take that off the list?
I think there was a few things on the list.
There was a few.
That we went over your whole list, and the things that were very strict or not open-minded.
Yeah.
The things that weren't open-minded, like we talked about spiritual principles and how it applies to each thing on the list, and having somebody that absolutely has to believe in the same thing you believe.
May not be a requirement for a good match.
Well, we talked about it, and it wasn't, if we practice all the spiritual principles, open-minded, accepting, and we started applying that to everything on this list, and that was one of the things, is this so important to you that you're not going to have a relationship with somebody? And it didn't,
Got it.
It's I think I could be open-minded.
Yeah.
So he applied some principles to that list.
It makes that one in particular, the higher power one, makes the window really small.
Well, that, and we've talked about this too, is I think we all have, is that our perception of a higher power changes over time.
Sure does.
And then we start out with this belief, and then 10 years later we have this belief, and then 10 years later,
Yep.
I'm fucking lighting incense and listening to Hare Krishna music,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own path, so.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
So yeah, that was the most traumatic thing that I ever went through. That was a crazy story for me.
What? You didn't say it.
Damn it.
I know. I thought you were going to say it.
Yeah, no. When I was getting loaded, when I was out on the streets, I had kind of a connection with outlaw clubs, motorcycle clubs, and I was on the outside. I wasn't directly involved, but I was selling drugs for a connection that was, and I sold drugs a lot, and so when my drug dealer changed and I started selling for somebody else, they were connected, and the other guys came and robbed me, and they didn't know what was happening current, and So one day after I got robbed, there's a knock at I was living in a motel, knock at the door, and this club member is at the door, and he's like filling the frame. That's how big, 6'8" frame. And he just said, "I want names, who they are." That's all I know, because my connection knew that all my shit got robbed. And he says, "All right, I'll let you know." And I told him everything that got stolen and all that. And honestly, I was afraid, because I didn't want to get so connected that shit like that would happen to me. I had enough experience being incarcerated that I knew that people were fucking crazy. And about a week later, he shows up and says, I didn't get anything back, but they shouldn't be a problem. And about a couple months later, I'm getting out of a car, and this this guy that I knew cold cocked me and broke my jaw as I'm getting out of the car. I ended up with a broken jaw, but I didn't know I had a broken jaw. I just knew my jaw hurt. So for the next 3 days, I just took cocaine and filled my mouth with cocaine for 3 days.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it numbed it.
Yeah.
I ran out of cocaine.
Damn it.
Then it started to hurt. And long story short, this guy got paid to do that by these other guys that robbed me. And I was still in the game, and I found the guy that hit me, and I'm crossing the parking lot with my friend, and she's screaming at me because I have a knife out. I'm going to go stab him. And she's screaming at me. She's like getting attention. People are starting to look. I'm fuck, I can't. And, I can't do it now. People can see my face. So I take off. And the next day, he ends up dead. Like, holy fuck.
Wow.
That night, I don't know if it was that night or the next night over, but he was playing Russian. This is the story that the cops were told. He was playing Russian roulette with a guy, and he pulled the trigger and shot himself.
That's the story that the other guy said.
Yeah, that's the story the other guy said.
We were playing. That's clever. We were playing Russian roulette. Yeah.
He ended up doing time.
Okay. They didn't
I don't
believe
know
it.
the extent of it. I was like, the guy was out of my radar.
Yeah, but you were chasing him. Yeah, but he knew. We were playing Russian roulette.
A lot of people, they just heard that the guy was dead, and like they're looking at me, and I'm like the suspicion, right? And I'm like, I wanted to really bad, but I that wasn't me.
You had the motive, yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of like, and then those two guys that paid him, they ended up getting tuned up, and just seeing that stuff and being witness to it, and having people, this one guy I was hanging out with said he was going to snitch, and and people found out about that, and so one psycho is crawling through the bushes with a sharpened screwdriver in his mouth, trying to sneak up on the guy, and I'm like, okay, I'm in the wrong crowd, because I knew deep down that's not my crowd.
Yeah.
So that was it. I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of other ones where that'll work.
I feel a little bit inadequate with my stories.
Your story was good.
It's a good story, Jimmy.
You're just a peaceful guy.
James Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jambo Ward.
Well, that's it, guys.
That's it.
Yeah, dude.
It's long enough. We're at
Fuck.
3.5 hours.
How much of this are you going to cut out?
Probably just a couple names,
Dang. So,
you know,
because the podcasts are usually like, what, 2 hours?
2.5, mostly.
Nobody's going to want to listen to a 4-hour podcast.
No, we've had a 3.5 hour with Dom.
What's your thought? Is you want to cut it in half?
No, you just cut out.
I mean,
whatever-
we could cut it in half at the break we took. We could do one. Did you already stop it?
Not yet.
Yeah, I mean, we could cut it in half.
Can you? I can do whatever you guys want.
Yeah, let's turn it into. Let's turn it into 2 episodes.
All right. Well, anyways, thanks guys for doing this. This was fun. I'm glad we got back together to continue this. Maybe we'll do it in another 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step 5.
I would love that.
Step
We just
5.
did step 5.
5,
Six,
6,
seven,
7.
eight. 6, 7.
6, 7, 8.
6, 7. Have you heard the kids doing that these days?
Oh yeah.
No.
This
my,
and that.
My kids do that.
This and that.
I don't know what it is. 6, 7. It's a thing.
All right.
Love
All
you
right,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you being here and being part of this community. Just a quick heads up before we wrap. The people we talk to on this show are just sharing their own personal stories. They do not speak for any specific recovery program or group. It's just their experience, strength, and hope. Well, that's it for now, and please remember that you can follow us on any of your streaming platform that you listen to, and somewhere in there on that streaming platform there is a donate button if you care to help out with our monthly fees that we have to pay to produce each episode, and there's a follow button. There's also somewhere on your streaming platform you can text us and send us a response or email or check-in. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you.